is AEW successful? Why is Tony Khan running his promotion better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are running Monday night and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for October 10th, 2023. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always. Coming to you from my end, the OTS venue. Joined tonight, man. We got the fucking superpowers here, man. We got Andrew Baydala and we got Jesse, the Chi-Town Smart. Normally, Drew and I are live on Tuesday nights, but you know what? It's Title Tuesday, gentlemen. Why not get all of us together on Title Tuesday?
It's past my bedtime.
This fucking guy, man. I just told this guy to go make an espresso. He's still complaining.
He's really salty about it being 9:30, man.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Got kids.
Yeah.
I thought I was old.
Yeah, that'll do that to you. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. What a night, man. Holy shit. NXT brought out The Undertaker and John Cena and Tony Khan, man. Great pro wrestling on his end. I don't know what happened on NXT. I think Jesse watched NXT tonight, right?
I had it on the side screen. I visually watched it. I listened to AEW. I saw a lot of promos and segments. I saw a couple of matches, but it seemed to be very promo heavy. Is that pretty accurate? Chat, can you let me know?
It was promo heavy.
Was it? Okay.
Well, I mean, then they start out with Cody Rhodes announcing the Dusty Classic, but we got on AEW's end, we got Swerve and Bryan Danielson putting on a pay-per-view banger on TV.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one, too.
Yeah, what a show tonight. I'll start with Drew, man. What'd you think of this? I know you and I talked about this on TNT, bro. I understand that the fans, that they make it more than it really is. But honestly, from my perspective, from your perspective, it's great for the fans. A lot of people take it overboard. I got a sense of, that competition. I know a lot of people want to rag on AEW, and then AEW side want to rag on NXT, but I got a sense of that competition tonight. You saw Tony Khan tweeting tonight. Well, what'd you make of the whole thing? And I saw a lot of people saying that Tony Khan might have started the hype a little bit late with what he was tweeting today about Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and he said some derogatory things about Vince McMahon. What'd you make of the whole thing?
Well, first of all, I didn't appreciate the bald asshole comment, Tony. I thought we were cool. But it is what it is.
Man, I'll be joining you there fairly soon, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, damn. I mean, let me take these headphones off for a second. I mean, we all know I'm as bald gets, but I mean, hot damn, TK. What do you got against bald people? Listen, I enjoyed Dynamite and I enjoyed NXT. I had them both on. I had the audio on for Dynamite because this was a Dynamite review show. But I think the fans made this more than what it needed to be, but that's the beauty of this, right? Like, we haven't had legitimate 100%. NXT is never going to be that brand that kind of beats AEW unless they bring the main roster talent over. And I know they have beaten them, quote unquote, on Tuesday nights, but there's a lot more competition on Wednesdays, in my opinion, than there is on Tuesdays. So,
Jesse, what'd you think of the whole competition thing, man? I know I saw one of the last tweets you put out there. Undertaker on NXT reeks of desperation. I'm with you, bro, but did you expect anything less from WWE?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, so we were starting to talk about this off the air a little bit. So, I like the competition. I do. I like the friendly competition. I was even a fan of TK. It seems like he got maybe a little liquid courage or whatever his partake is, and took his phone out and started having some fun. As of yesterday into today, this guy had diarrhea of the fingers, man. He would not stop tweeting.
Well, Tony Khan on a couple of White Claw, bro. You can't do it.
Yeah, that's his thing. That's it. And yeah, he kind of got the pot stirred. He got the fans talking, and I like the friendly banter about it. What I don't like about it is
friendly.
Well, no, not with them. with AEW and NXT. I meant with the fans. But what I don't like is the tribalism about it. You know, it's cool to be like, man, AEW is going to win or NXT is going to win. You guys suck. That's cool. But then when the tribalists come out, it just gets like ridiculously overdone. I mean, I thought it was fun. You know, when was the last time we sat down for a night of pro wrestling and you got this kind of excitement, you know, outside of what we were getting on the screen? You know, it kind of reminded me of the Monday Night Wars, you know, just for one night, you know. I thought it was all fair and game to continue doing what you would normally do. And I'm giving NXT the credit for the main roster talent. You know, you got like Asuka showing up and you got LA Knight showing up. I mean, because they've been doing that as of late. They didn't just start it for tonight. But The Undertaker is kind of where I drew the line. Like, come on, that's a little, come on, man. You pulled out the fucking Undertaker for this, man.
Well, what did he do?
He beat down Braun Breaker.
He actually got physical.
Yeah, he did. Well, I mean, his fist did. I mean, he kind of beat down Braun Breaker. And, I mean, and I get it. Breaker gets that.
Saudi's around the corner, Jesse.
What's up?
Saudi is around the corner.
Yeah, but NXT has been here for about a decade, Drew. How many appearances has John Cena and The Undertaker made?
Oh, this is 150% to counter program what the other company was doing.
And that's what I mean. You bring your A game, and if you have been bringing main roster talent to NXT to boost it up lately, and they have, then cool. You know, continue it. Even Cena, I'm giving him the benefit of that with Cena because he's been on programming as of late. And why not use him if you got him? But they seriously dug up The Undertaker just for this night. That was the desperation Reek for me. That was it. The only desperation.
I think the pettiest thing they did was have Cody kick off NXT.
Nah, that's what Cody does. That's what he does.
But I mean, what a way to take that knife and just kind of twist it. We got your guy kicking off our show. That's just the way I look at it.
I could see
Well,
that.
I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, AEW continued to do what AEW does. So they put on great pro wrestling, and they countered with a great match with Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland. Meanwhile, like Jesse said, what they start the show with 20 minutes of fucking promo?
Yeah,
I mean, we were over with
that
match, and the match had implication too.
Yeah, you're never going to get better professional wrestling, in my opinion, than what AEW puts out week after week. It's just the storytelling's not there. It was on Dynamite, though.
Now, both shows did what they were best known for. You know, like you said, NXT is promo and AEW is wrestling heavy.
Did they at least take these legends and kind of, I don't know, kind of mold them into the future of the company? Like, or was it just like
Heyman? They did.
We'll get these big names as appearances, and then we'll fucking stick it to them. Did they have a point on the show?
Well, I mean, we don't know what Braun and Taker are going to end up doing. Heyman did something with The Rock's daughter, which I thought was genius. He was showing her the bloodline thing. But other than that, I mean, Cena kind of hanging with Mello and all that other stuff. I don't think they're going to go further with that.
Yeah.
You think The Undertaker wrestles Braun Breaker in Saudi?
I think it's a tag match. Maybe Cena and Taker taking on, you know, or maybe they do, I don't know, Mello and Taker versus Braun and somebody else. Who knows?
That's I guess. Listen, that's interesting. I mean, what a way to get those guys' feet wet on the main roster than working with those two guys. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense in that regard. But like we all know that AEW's competition to WWE after them denying it for the last 5 years. I mean, it's not a secret. It's plain as day what they were doing. But Tony Khan's reaction, a lot of fans were kind of down on Tony Khan's reaction, acting a little immature. But you know, I look at it as A, it's his birthday. He could do whatever the fuck he wants, and B, you know, Triple H was doing that same thing during the Attitude Era as well. I know they can't do that now because they're a publicly traded company. They got an image to uphold. But that's the benefit of Tony Khan not being a publicly traded company. He can say and do whatever the fuck he wants. But at some level, you got to have some sort of professionalism. But, you know, in the spirit of competition, Drew, I think that type of enthusiasm is going to come out one way or another.
100%. And I also, you know, if Twitter was around when Vince was 38 years old, who knows who he would have went after.
Jesus. Yeah.
I mean, they went, I agreed. I don't know who put this out there on X or Twitter, but Vince went after Bob Costas on live or tape television.
I love that. That was fucking great, man.
I mean, you don't think that Vince McMahon would have gotten in, you know, retweeted somebody or re-X somebody or whatever? Come on.
Well, I mean, we're going to get into the show tonight. I know Jesse and Drew know a little bit more than I do about NXT, but we're not going to be covering NXT tonight. We're going to dive right into AEW Dynamite on this evening. They did almost 45 minutes of commercial-free right at the top. They went about till 8:45 commercial-free. They waited until NXT went to commercial first, and then they went to commercial. So it was definitely Both companies trying to one-up each other. And then they had a 15-minute overrun when we were promised 10. So it was a long evening. It was a lot of pro wrestling. Everybody was excited about tonight. Next week, it goes back to normal. But I want to thank you guys very much for joining us right here on a Tuesday night. Normally, Drew and I are live on Tuesday. Jesse and I are live on Wednesdays. Things are a little different this week, obviously, with the scheduling. But if you want to follow us, you can follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smart. You can follow Drew at Andrew Baydala, and then me at JDfromNY206. And that is on Twitter. And then we'll try and get things back to normal as we see fit here next week. But we're going to start at the top, man. What do you guys think of this Christian Cage start to the show tonight with him starting in the production truck, man? It was a nice little change of pace for me. And then obviously with Christian being, I think, right now the hottest heel in the business, I mean, more of him on TV in any aspect is going to be a thumbs up from me.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good, man. It's not what I expected. And the one thing I like about it is that it shows Christian Cage's growth in the role that he's doing, that he was trusted with the spot to kick off a night that clearly Tony Khan felt was extremely important. And I'm assuming he would put his best foot forward. And for him, he felt that was Christian Cage, because the run that he's on right now with that title and with this storyline, I can't disagree with him. It is extremely hot right now, man. And yeah, I mean, it looks like in AEW, Christian Cage right now, because MJF is, I'm not going to call him a babyface. I'm going to call him not a heel. And for that, yeah, Christian Cage is a top heel in AEW right now.
Yeah, I think that was the way to kick off Dynamite. That's what everyone was talking about over the weekend. Even with Adam Copeland showing up on Collision, that didn't do the greatest of numbers, but it did better in that early time slot than it did in later time slots for the past weeks without one CM Punk. So yeah, everyone and their mother is talking about Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. Christian Cage probably is on the run of his lifetime. And I, love the way that AEW did this, because it got people thinking to themselves, okay, is this going to kick off Dynamite? Is Copeland going to show up right now? And now they made you wait till the end. So
Christian started the show off and said that this is without a doubt the biggest Dynamite in history. I don't know if that's the case or not, but, you choose your battles there. He said it's fitting that he's the first person everybody sees. He brought up Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland, and the winner of that match is going to challenge him on Saturday night's Collision for the TNT Championship. He said Swerve left a bad taste in his mouth when he cost him a tag team match at Wembley, so I like that they're kind of weaving that into Christian's dialogue here. He said Danielson fancies himself as the best wrestler in the world, but he can prove otherwise. Luchasaurus will end the reign of the Rated R superstar, and before Adam Copeland even gets started, Luchasaurus is going to take care of him, and that he procured 30 minutes of Dynamite to be commercial-free. Now, we got this opening match between Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland. This was a 16, 17-minute affair, guys. It was a pay-per-view banger. I said it on Twitter myself on my end, that if Bryan Danielson is going to retire in a year's time, or at least take significant time away from the ring and be a very, very, very limited part-timer, he's going to go out with a fucking bang, and he's going to wrestle everybody that he wants to wrestle. On the other hand, Swerve, I don't know if you can go back and look at the entirety of Swerve's career and find two better matches that he's had back-to-back than the ones he's had with Adam Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson, guys. Right now, he's on the run of a lifetime. He's probably putting in the best work of his entire career, and he's starting to finally feel, and Jesse and I spoke about this last week, he's finally starting to feel like a true main event performer in look, in ring, and with the entire Mogul Embassy behind him with Nana, man. Everything is finally starting to come together.
yeah, he needs that.
Jesse, you go first, man.
I agree, man. Swerve, again, he was put in a position, when he started here, to basically lock him in the mid card, as to be what it seemed. Then they tried making some adjustments. They tried adjusting, his storylines. They gave him a crew. They gave him a faction, or whatever you might want to call the people that they surrounded him with. Let's be honest, it sucked. All right, it was bad. It was terrible. The people that they surrounded him with were nowhere near the level of Swerve, which would mean that they're not helping bring Swerve up. Swerve can't bring up two guys who are gonna basically do nothing, so he was just kind of stagnant right there. They changed some things up. They changed his crew. They put him with Prince Nana. mogul affiliate. It started off a little cold. It got traction. Nana got over. They put Swerve in the ring with top-notch talent. Hangman Page. They put him in the ring of Bryan Danielson. Swerve is now in the talks of many of being in the main event picture very, very, very soon. They're finally using Swerve the correct way, and I have no problems with that.
Yeah, I think AEW, just to kind of elaborate a little bit more on what Jesse said, I think AEW and AEW needs another main event player, and Swerve Strickland's that guy. I mean, they absolutely need one. I mean, we have Jay White right now in MJF, which is great. Jay White was already an established main eventer. Swerve really wasn't on NXT, and even in WWE, now he is, in my opinion, AEW. And that, in my opinion, that's what tonight was all about for AEW. There's a lot of storyline advancements, and which we'll get into. And they also made two men tonight. They made Swerve and they made Hobbs. And I think that's a big thing for AEW, because that will be things that they need to do to continue to watch this company grow. And that's huge for AEW. Yeah,
it's a big deviation, Drew, away from, and I know you and I have discussed this very intently on TNT on Tuesday nights. AEW tends to start booking their pay-per-views maybe 2 weeks out. Sometimes you start to see a whole card fleshed out, and we're asking each other and we're looking at each other sideways. Where's the fucking build? Like, what's going on? I don't know what happened. I don't know who's gotten in Tony Khan's ear. I don't know who he's now surrounded himself with. I know Bryan Danielson's there and he trusts Danielson. Jimmy Jacobs was just hired, and apparently Jimmy Jacobs is following Tony Khan around, and he's almost like his third eye. But whatever's going on there, seemingly things are starting to come together. The glue is finally starting to, stick here with AEW Creative, and we're getting these stories fleshed out over a longer period, and it's only going to make the pay-per-view better. It's obviously already making Dynamite better, but you see the sheer difference from what we were doing with All In, All Out, and now going from Grand Slam to Wrestle Dream and now on to Full Gear. It's a world of a difference.
Yeah, and I think AEW is learning from their mistakes here. With the past was always ex-WWE guys kind of running the show and being their world champions. Not there's anything wrong with that, but at some point in time, you got to deviate from that plan and kind of build your own guys. WWE needed to do it in the late 90s, mid 90s with Shawn and Brett and everybody else like that. So I like what they're doing. And for me, like, you could have Christian Cage and Adam Copeland be a main focal point. It just doesn't need to involve your world championship, and it doesn't, thank God. So
absolutely. This match here, well, number one contendership for the TBS, or not the TBS, the TNT title. TBS, TNT, well, same shit to me. TNT title. Apparently, with Adam Page and Swerve still feuding, I was wondering if they were going to go and do that and do that for Full Gear, guys. But now we know that Adam Page and Swerve are not done by a long shot. It looks to be that they will be in the ring together at Full Gear. Swerve actually lost this match because of Adam Page coming down and stopping Nana from using the crown. Bryan Danielson won with the Busaiku knee here. I've seen a lot of people, especially in my thread, guys, saying that the wrong winner went over here. The wrong guy went over here, and Bryan Danielson. Everybody wanted Swerve versus Christian for the TNT Championship. I don't know if I would want him in that position yet, because he has unfinished business with Adam Page, and I think if you put him in that type of match, he's undoubtedly going to have to win the championship, and I don't think he's ready for that yet. It's not his time. You'll know when his time comes, but, I mean, I don't know how anybody can scoff at Bryan Danielson versus Christian Cage match for the TNT title.
Jesse?
Because Swerve is on a streak. Swerve has had the momentum. Bryan can lose and won't mean a damn thing. A Swerve loss, like tonight, I don't want to say derail his momentum. His momentum is still there, but it would only improve it. It would make it that much better, A win over Bryan Danielson right now, after beating Hangman and everything else, it would have looked great for the forward momentum of Swerve. It's nothing that can't be reestablished and put back on track next week. It's not a big deal. It's not buried. It's not all over. It just would have been a good look. That's all. I don't think it's the end of the world that Bryan won either.
It would have been a good look, but then I feel like if we did Swerve and Christian next week, the outcome that we got tonight probably would have been the outcome on Saturday, and he would have lost on Saturday anyway because of Adam Page. So why not do it now and just kind of have him move on to Page, have him beat Page, and then go on and maybe challenge for the championship when Christian inevitably loses that title? I mean, it would still be heel versus heel, no? I mean, who wants to see that?
No one.
True.
Yeah, I think this was the right call, truthfully, because of the points that you guys just made, plus some others. Listen, you could have went Swerve and Christian Cage, and then everyone's going to say, well, Adam Copeland's going to cost Christian Cage the TNT Championship, and it's going to go to Swerve, et cetera, et cetera. That's the obvious outcome, in my opinion. I think Danielson losing this match, if he does to Christian Cage, has much more meaning towards Christian Cage and his ascension that he just beat Bryan Danielson for the TNT. However he gets it done, okay? They're going to get it done. And maybe it does lead to a Danielson and Copeland tag match against Edge and Christian, and Luchasaurus. That's something that I think we could see. Danielson and Adam Copeland teaming together, I don't know if it's ever happened. I'm sure Adam's got a bucket list. But for me, Swerve did not need to win this match to keep any momentum. He didn't.
Yeah, I'm with Drew there. I don't think it's the end of the world with this one. And Bryan Danielson ends up winning. And I feel like Christian, it's tough when you look at Christian because I don't want him to lose that championship for a while. I mean, I don't think Adam Copeland's going to be the TNT champion at the end of all this. I'm sure that title's going to be off of him before we get to that inevitable one-on-one match whenever Tony Khan decides to do that. I know that they're going into Montreal in December, I believe. That would be a great location for them to do that match. I know it's a Dynamite, but it's going to be very difficult for Tony Khan to not want to do that in Montreal because we know what type of promoter he is and what type of booker he is.
JD, that's the whole story, man. That's the whole story is Adam and Christian going one-on-one, and Tony is very, very good at holding
in Canada for the first time instead of doing it on pay-per-view.
I think he does. I'll be honest with you. I think that this gets drug out all the way to possibly All In. I really
hope so. I hope that they have the resources to do that because it's definitely worth the time.
Well, think about it. And Jesse, jump in here. AEW is fantastic at long-term booking. I mean, they are. It's just very long.
When they try.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think fantastic's a strong word.
Well, it takes many different avenues, but it's like, 8 months ago, these two had their beginning feud and all that other stuff. So, I mean.
Yeah, when they're focused on it and they want to hone in on it, they can put in some long-term storytelling. It's normally reserved for like the top end of the card and things like that, but it has been starting to trickle down into like the mid cards and things like that. Here's the thing about waiting and prolonging for Adam and Christian. I mean, it's something that we have to think about because it's happened before and then it likely could happen again, is the likelihood of one of these two men getting not only injured, but severely injured. So I don't know if I want to just wait till like All In to get it done. But I don't want to rush to it either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so you got to kind of take it easy with the storytelling, but because you don't want to fast track it. But as far, look at Bryan Danielson, how many stories they tried to tell with him and an unfortunate injury to put him out too long past the pay-per-view date, and then it gets sidetracked. They tried it with Chris Statlander, and then she got injured, and then they had to wait for her to come back to finish that Jade Cargill story. And, with the age of these two guys, I mean, it's, no disrespect to them, but Edge said, or Adam, sorry, he said he wants to come back and work a full-time schedule, which means he's going to be wrestling more often than not. You got to pay attention to that and how they work, man, because the last thing you need is one of them to get injured. It's going to derail a whole lot of long-term storytelling if it does.
But I argue and counter with WWE's doing it with Cody and Roman, essentially. That's what it seems like. So why can't AEW do it? And AEW's doing it with MJF and Adam Cole.
I would argue that WWE is trying to do it, but not doing it very well. The last I heard, they had Cody in a feud with Dominic Mysterio. You had him in the main event with Roman Reigns, and on the path to get back to Roman, he's in feuds with Dominic, and he's on NXT.
This is clearly that's an issue. Drew and I talked about that almost every week that we've been live. It's a problem.
Yeah, I would argue they're not doing a good job at getting to them. I mean, they're gonna getting to them in a fantastic way are two entirely different things. They're just waiting it out and trying to buy time and have no plans and just throwing shit and see what sticks. That's not getting to them. That's just, we have nothing else for you, so let's start picking some shit up. They have no long-term story to tell. They just want to get it to the next, WrestleMania, which is that's not a plan. I mean, what are you going to do in the meantime?
Well, I mean, I I disagree to a certain extent. I think, and this is not this show, but I'll say this. I think Cody was supposed to have a feud with somebody who's unfortunately no longer with us. God rest his soul. And they are doing the best that they can. I think they accelerated a storyline with him and Jay as tag team champions. But my point is that I think that we are seeing it in WWE. They're telling longer stories, and I think AEW could do this with Adam and Christian.
They could, in a perfect world, that's what we would want. The longer they take to do it, the bigger the payoff is going to be. But if you're trying to stretch it too long and too far, and the shit that you're doing in between starts making no sense, that's going to affect the payoff when you get to the match that you want to do. So you got to keep us engaged in that story and in that build and everything else. That's the hard part. It's easy to just say we're not doing this match till next year, and we'll just come up with some booking and figure it out later. That's not getting us there. That means you have no real serious plans to get us there, and you're just trying to buy some time. And that's,
so your problem is you don't want AEW to continue turning their wheels. You want them to do it when the time is right instead of stalling for a specific event, is what you're saying.
Yes, don't stall for it. Build towards it. If we're not getting it the next pay-per-view, what's the reason why?
Because, I don't want it to go too deep into 2024, but, to say that they don't have enough resources to get it done, it's 20-plus years of relationship there. With both guys sharing a career. Plus I know that they're giving input to Tony Khan and his team. So if anything, this entire storyline is going to be devised by them and where they want it to go. So I know for a fact it's going to get to where it needs to be. I don't think that's going to be the problem. And I honestly think AEW right now with these two major storylines on Dynamite are doing better long-term booking than WWE right now and what they got going on with the Judgment Day and the Bloodline and whatever else is going on. I do feel like it's more cohesive on Dynamite than it is on WWE television.
Well, yeah, it kind of feels like the Bloodline stuff has kind of fizzled. Is that accurate?
I think so. I don't know where they're going with it, but,
We're going to find out on Friday.
Roman's back on Friday.
I'm looking at split up Usos. Is that a good thing? I don't see it as a good thing.
Jay has made the most of his singles run, man. I just don't understand why they wanted him to be single, and then they put him in a tag team to win tag team championships when the whole thing was making him a singles performer.
He's a tag team champion?
Where the fuck have you been, man? You didn't watch Fastlane.
I didn't watch Fastlane.
Him and Cody are the tag team champions.
Oh my God. What the fuck is
Drew's over here? Look at this fucking geek, man. Where the fuck you been, man? Sleeping?
Why would you? Okay.
Because they want to get to Jimmy versus Jay. They want to get to Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania.
They need Cody on SmackDown via logical reasons, man. Now he's the tag team champion. He can show up anytime he wants.
Right. And now he gets to maybe continue the story with Roman. That's the whole thing.
I guess so. It's not fair for me to come into the middle of it and then criticize it. I'm not in it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not living it. So it's easy to be on the outside looking in and get spots and be like, that makes no sense. Well, maybe that makes sense if I was watching.
I'm just happy that AEW is starting to tell more stories and they could give me something I could sink my teeth into. A Jay White and MJF build. We're seeing an Adam Copeland and a Christian Cage build. We're seeing Adam Cole and MJF. What's going on there? There's a lot of things here that I could sink my teeth into.
And never mind that, Samoa Joe is now targeting Mr. MJF. He's wearing a suit. He's got a cigar. He's got an old fashioned. Joe is living life, man. He said he's soon to be AEW World Champion. He said Saturday on Collision, his ascension to greatness will begin. Drew, what are they planning here? Are they really stacking the deck here against MJF? So when Adam Cole comes back, MJF can blame everything on Adam Cole here. What's going on with Joe, Jay White? Adam Cole's not picking up the phone. What's going on here?
Is Joe a part of Adam Cole and this whole thing that's going on?
I don't know. It could be.
Could it be? Listen, I'm going to throw that out there. There was a big ominous man, because I don't think it was a chick, that was behind one of those masked attackers. I don't know. It could be Joe. Obviously, those people who were attacking Jay White a couple weeks ago were probably not going to fit the bill of the people who end up being them, which, that happens. But, man, they really are stacking the deck against MJF. MJF week after week is kind of talking about how Adam's his best friend. For some reason, there's no cell service where Roddy lives. Listen, I live in the boondocks. Did you see where he lived?
Holy shit, man.
Listen, I live in the boondocks. I don't really, I like to be away from people. I like to get away. I like to, be with my family and my neighbors. But, man, we have cell service. So, come on. There's something there. And I think AEW, I applaud AEW for this type of storytelling.
Oh, Jesse, you happy to see Samoa Joe back now, starting to kind of bleed a little bit more on AEW television and kind of move away from the Ring of Honor thing? Because I think that's going to be something that we talked about, man. That was a long time coming.
I think that once we get this Max deal announced, that Ring of Honor, let them do their thing. Samoa Joe never needed to be a part of it. I'm happy he is now moved away from that. They spent a lot of money to get some of these talents over from WWE, and I want them to utilize them to their maximum potential. And Samoa Joe has some years left in him, so let's see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm Joe. Joe is starting to become just that, just that killer heel. And it's the kind of heel that we really don't have in AEW right now. So that is his role. Christian's more of the cowardly, talk shit, hide behind someone type heel, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but we just have different kinds of heels. Joe doesn't do that. Joe doesn't run. Joe doesn't fucking, shy away from a fight. Joe wants to fucking come at you. He'll come at you. He'll tell you he's going to fucking come at you. And that's the kind of heel that's another problem for Max. That's a problem, man. I mean, because Joe is not someone to be fucked with in that regard. And so if he says he's coming after you, you have a fucking problem. And so now he's trying to worry about Joe. And now he's worried about if his boy's going to have his back. We all get the strong feeling that Cole's going to turn his back on Max. Max has his plate full. We mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. MJF has his plate full. He has a few different things going on. Everyone wants the championship title. All of this makes sense. I never understood why the world champion has only one person at a time looking for him. Everyone should be trying to get that fucking title. Jay White wants it. Clearly, he fucking stole it. Joe wants it. Clearly, Adam Cole's going to want it soon. He has a lot on his plate, and that's good to fucking see. It's good to see him have some vulnerability out there.
Yeah, I'm loving what they're doing with MJF. We'll get to him in a second because we finally got that old Max coming out. Still a baby face, but it's exactly how I envisioned it. And Jay White and the Bullet Club being very reminiscent of high school bullies are starting to bring out that old school MJF back to AEW television. We'll get there in a little bit, but the next match that happened tonight, I expected a lot more of, guys, here. Chris Jericho and Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, this is the only part I didn't really like. We didn't get an explanation as to why Hobbs joined Don Callis and the Don Callis family. Hopefully that is coming soon. They came out there and we got what was about a 7-8 minute match. The only offense in this match that Jericho got was a code breaker and a Walls of Jericho, and that was it. And this was honestly a complete beatdown and evisceration of Chris Jericho. Powerhouse Hobbs here just dominated him, spine busters, and he eventually got the 1-2-3 on Chris Jericho in about 7 minutes. Now, at first glance, Drew, I'll ask you first. I actually like this because Hobbs needs this. This is not the first opportunity that they've tried with Hobbs. He's been in Team Taz. He's been with QT Marshall. Now he's with the Don Callis family. Hopefully this sticks and we get some sort of explanation. But it was a statement win for Powerhouse Hobbs. But at the same time, in my opinion, it was a statement loss for Chris Jericho because the way I look at it, it's almost as if they wanted to tell you that Chris Jericho isn't cut out for the main event anymore and that he's old and he can't do it anymore. Is that what they're going for, only to rise him back up again in this story?
Yeah, I think it's a twofold story here, right? I think they're making Hobbs a made man. That's what I got from tonight. I mean, you don't get any bigger than beating Chris Jericho, especially on AEW. So I think this is Hobbs' last-ditch effort to say, hey, we think you got a lot of talent in you. Jericho's going to do business for you. Let's see where it goes. And Jericho to do that type of business shows you how much he believes in Hobbs too. That's that. The other thing I think is that this is starting to show the unraveling of Chris Jericho because he no longer has his buddies to help him. Guevara turned on him. You saw some of, the other JAS members kind of check on him when they were backstage. And he was saying, Daddy Magic, I believe it was, right? Said, hey, come on, get away from him. We're done here. We're past this. So I think they're basically showing that Jericho really isn't anything without his buddies, which will eventually lead to Chris Jericho's re-rise by himself. Yes, whether he's a main event player, I don't know. The best thing that's happening right now in AEW television is that Chris Jericho is putting over younger talent, and he continues to do so.
Yeah, Jesse, what do you think of this Will Hobbs win over Jericho in dominating fashion? Are you confident that they're going to take Will Hobbs to the next level like we know that he should be because, he's been very impressive as of late?
If he doesn't, WWE will.
Oh, absolutely. Him and Wardlow.
Yeah. So I don't think that Jericho losing in the fashion that he did has any indication of he's, too old for this or can't do this anymore. I just think it's Will Hobbs is a fucking killer, which is the story they're trying to tell. They are clearly always trying to find something for Hobbs. They had him in one thing, like you said, and this thing and that thing and the TMZ thing, and didn't work. I like that they're trying. We've been complaining that Will Hobbs deserves better and he should be booked better, and he's not sitting stagnant. They're trying different things. They tried something here that didn't work. They shifted, right away. They shifted. They'll pivot. They'll move to do something else. They may have found something that sticks right here. They're booking him like a killer, as he should be booked. If you're going to beat him, you got to make it count. You got to make it believable, gang up, weapons, do what you got to do. Just keep him strong. And I think they're doing a good job at trying to convince us what we already believe. And that's Will Hobbs is a beast and it should be, treated as such.
Do you have any I'm sorry, Drew. I was going to ask Jesse. Do you think, or both of you guys, do you have any possible reason as to why he joined the Don Callis family? I don't know what the possible explanation could be. No.
I just think it's easier for Hobbs right now to have a mouthpiece, right? So Don Callis is a fantastic mouthpiece. And listen, Brock Lesnar had a mouthpiece for so many years and continued to, and he needed it. And he was one of the biggest and still is one of the biggest attractions and superstars in the game. This also happened because Jericho's going on his tour with Fozzy, and he needs to probably take some time off and stuff like that. I believe his world tour starts in 9 days. So, Jericho could obviously, Tony would send him the jet and everything else like that to make it the Dynamite and all this other stuff. But if Jericho says, hey, I really want to focus on the tour with my guys and everything else, I mean, this is the perfect kind of write-off for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for the role that they got for Hobbs and Callis's family, I don't think we really need like a rock solid explanation, to be honest. I mean, he found a guy that's a killer and a beast, and he was stuck in mediocrity, and he thinks, joining his family could be the best for him in his career. He's going to make him a star. Same he's going to make, Takeshita a star and everything. Because he was not doing anything specific. And to be doing this now is like, well, why is he doing it? Because he's a heavy. Because he's a big fucking strong guy. The same way like when Big Bill debuted. I'm like, why did he bring in this guy? Because he's a big fucking guy and he's a heavy and he can whoop some ass. And I'm going to make him a star, basically.
Hey,
I wouldn't be surprised if Jericho sat back and was like, this is one of the guys I want to put over,
Yeah.
This
is
absolutely.
One of the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, as long as it ended QT stuff, QTV, whatever the fuck that was. I mean, that was just a lost cause there. But, MJF mentioned that AEW is a bunch of different ice cream flavors for everybody. I mean, there's a ton of different flavors for everybody to enjoy with the styles that AEW provides to the viewer. So is the Don Callis family, man. You couldn't be more different. You got Sammy Guevara, you got Konosuke Takeshi, out Powerhouse Hobbs. I mean, you couldn't find three guys more different than those guys. So I actually like it. And Don Callis is a heat magnet, so it's always great television.
Callis is the mouth. Takeshita is the technical, and Powerhouse is the powerhouse.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice little faction right there.
It all fits. We don't need a in-depth explanation. Powerhouse is just a big motherfucker.
Yep.
We got Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Adam Cole at Roddy's house. Cole said he's been at his house for a week, which, I mean, I don't know why he's at his house for a week doing chores since the last week.
His fucking neck is hurt.
I don't know. So what about his ankle, though?
He got a wheel card thing for that. You can't wheel your neck around.
This is all good long-term storytelling. Why is he delayed his surgery? Why MJF's got to ask these questions, right?
He's busy helping his friend. What is wrong with you people? He has to help his friend. His friend is in need. I don't know why the kingdom's not helping him, but whatever.
This reeks of a fucking work. I'm sorry. There's no way this man needs surgery, man. There's no way this man's put off surgery already. Come on.
No, I mean, me and you kind of had this discussion privately. I do believe it is a very elaborate work.
Now he's went on his Twitch. He plays video games on Twitch. He's got his whole.
I don't know this. Go ahead.
His own dedicated community. He wants to separate the gaming community on Twitch from the wrestling community, and apparently he's very open and honest about things in his life with his Twitch community. And he does say he says he needs screws and plates, and he may need 2 surgeries. Now, is he going to take it that far, if that's the case, to lie to his Twitch community to sell a storyline for the first time ever? I think it's possible. You got Brett out there covering for him. I know you and I talked about Justin LaBar. Justin LaBar is a great colleague. I've learned a lot from him. He doesn't really tweet about things that are very out there and open, man. He's very low key, and he's even tweeting shit about this. I'm like, Whoa, man, Lombardi, that's a red flag for me, man. What's going on here?
I had to put on my glasses because I don't want you to see my constant eye rolls when we talk about this. Because I mean, it is just, to me, it screams of a work. And if this is a good work and I'm getting worked, then so be it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, all it takes is Britt to text Justin and be like, hey, can you put this stuff out? I mean, listen, I know Justin tweets, sorry about your Orioles, bud. I know Justin tweets, but come on. And what better platform for Adam to use to kind of like sell the surgery even more is his Twitch channel, because he knows that you and everybody else who loves professional wrestling are going to check it out and try and be friggin' internet detectives. I just don't see it.
Well, he's out there cutting grass, and Roddy needs him to cut the grass. Cole went on to mow his lawn using his leg scooter to support himself, and they went in the house where Cole asked about, what's the deal with this giraffe? Taven said it was a gift for Strong and went into details on why the giraffe was symbolic. And I didn't see you get Roddy any gifts, says Taven. Taven says it was a gift. Cole says he's sorry he asked. Cole asks why there's no cell service or TV, which played a role later in the show. He said he wanted to see Max on Dynamite. Strong said the TV is the devil. Cole said that he had to leave, and Strong said he just needed one more thing. Nobody knows what that is.
So what is TV?
TV is the devil.
Is your Easter egg.
Well, why don't you explain it to everybody that might not know what the Easter egg is?
The devil.
Columbo.
The devil.
Yes, TV is the devil. Yes, MJF is the devil. Yes.
Right. I mean, I'll play investigator here too. I mean, you want to know, let's get some CSI up in here. I mean, they're hinting at it, aren't they?
Yes, they're very much hinting at it. I mean, the one thing listen, I love Roddy. I think Roddy's doing some of the best character work of his entire life, honestly. But the level of humor compared to when MJF and Cole were doing it to now Roddy and Cole with the Kingdom, it's a different level of humor. More so, I like MJF and Cole. That's more my sense of humor. How are you guys feeling about the skits? Are they hitting for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jesse, go first. Go ahead.
Those are fucking great, man. Maybe it's just the Adam Cole factor, man. The guy, when he does these skits, when he did them with MJF, they were fucking gold. Now he's doing them with Roddy. Roddy has already been killing this gimmick anyway. So I mean, it's Max as well. So maybe it's just the AEW production thing, the producers who's writing these skits. I don't know, but they're always good every fucking week. All of them, man. They are fucking hilarious. I do think Adam Cole is hurt, unfortunately. I really wish you guys were writing it to work, but anytime you take Adam Cole off the road and you don't put him on TV and in the ring, you're hurting yourself. I mean, and to sell a storyline to get it down the road, it's not worth it. If you're a guy who's trying his best to put on the best TV and to get the best ratings and everything possible, taking one of your main stars off the road and out of the ring, it's probably not a good idea. You can come up with a better way to move a story along than take Adam Cole out of the wrestling ring. So I think it's legit, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong.
He's still on TV.
He's been doing vignettes, dude.
I know, but they don't have house shows or anything. I mean, Cole better not be wrestling on Collision and Rampage.
He's not wrestling at all.
Well, he shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying.
Well, wait, so why do you want him off television if he's hurt? Like if he really
what
is
does
hurt,
that do?
Well, if he's really hurt, why don't you want him on television? I mean, that's great if they're able to still sell the storyline for you.
Well, he's got to have his surgery soon, so he's gonna be off television. So.
Yeah, maybe.
So
we don't know yet. I don't think there's a surgery coming.
Hope not.
I hope not either. I hope not either, because he's going to be out for a very long time.
Yeah, he is, man. My wife is she's a CNA, and she saw the injury and said it does not look good. She said if that is real, that does not look good.
Yeah, same thing. My wife is an OR nurse, and she said the same thing. She said if that's accurate, he's out 12 to 18 months.
Yes, he's out a long fucking time.
So that's why it is a work. I'm telling you right now.
I hope so. I'm sticking with it, man. I called it day one. I'm sticking with it. Rey Fenix and Orange Cassidy. This was for the International Championship. Yes, Orange Cassidy wrestling for the International Championship. It was supposed to be Jon Moxley. Tony Khan came out on the buy-in and said that Jon Moxley was not medically cleared. That's a great thing, number one, because Moxley's health is first, most important. Second, he can find anybody else to fill in to have a great match with Rey Fenix tonight. It was Orange Cassidy. Match went 5 minutes. I know Rey Fenix is rumored to be injured, back injury and probably other minor injuries because he's one of the most reckless fucking performers in the entire world.
Because he's Rey Fenix.
He's Rey Fenix. And this match went 5 minutes, and we have a new international champion, guys. I don't know how any of you felt about it, but if Moxley was here, obviously he would have been taking the title off of Rey Fenix. Orange Cassidy wins the championship here. He's the new champion. It almost felt like, you know, Tony Khan wanted to take this championship off of him by any means necessary. As soon as he won it, he was conspiring to come to a decision on how he's going to take the championship of Rey Fenix. And fortunately, you know, for Tony here, unfortunately, he's hurt. So he has a good reason. And Orange Cassidy, a second title reign. Are you guys excited about that? Because I know the first one was really good, but I just feel like he's going to hold it until Jon Moxley comes back, and we're going to go right back to square one. Drew.
I think it's a lot of unfortunate events for Tony and the hot potato of this international, you know, championship that wasn't a hot potato at all. I mean, Cassidy held the title for a long time and then lost it to Moxley, which I think was a good loss. And then we had the unfortunate incident with Moxley and Rey Fenix, and now Rey Fenix and Cassidy. So a second reign for me, yeah, I'm invested. It makes the most logical sense. Clearly, this championship was supposed to go back to Mox, and it just hasn't happened because Mox was A, never supposed to lose it, and exactly. B, now we're in a situation where Mox can't get cleared. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I do think that they need to stop hot potatoing the title. Like, we don't need Mox to regain that championship. He can go somewhere else and do something else.
Yeah, I agree with Drew there. Jesse, how do you feel about Orange Cassidy with the second reign? Do you feel like it maybe takes away from the match that he and Moxley had when Moxley beat him for the championship? And are you kind of disappointed now with him being the international champion that it might deviate away from what he was doing with Hook because they were supposed to start a tag team? Or you think that could still happen as the international champion?
I think the injury bug sucks. For creative, and I kind of feel bad for TK for having to come up with something as far as that title. But I can't sit here and say I'm excited that Orange Cassidy is champion again. I get it, man. You had to get the title off of him. I get it that it's easy to just put it back on Orange and just try to figure it out from there. But I mean, it would have been a little bit more refreshing if they would have found a different course altogether and just came up with a different champion and just started a whole new storyline going forward, because the guys you had playing for that title have collectively come up injured. Okay, so they tried giving it to Moxley. Moxley got hurt. They went with Phoenix, in an audible. So they didn't want it on Phoenix to begin with. So you got to figure out where to put it. So instead of coming up with a new holder, they just put it right back on the original, and it seems like we hit the reset button, and it's not exciting at all. I felt like Orange Cassidy has already done everything that he can and needed to do with and for that title. So to put it back on him, it just kind of does seem like a step back for the title when it just could have went with a different direction altogether. I understand that may have interrupted your long-term plans as far as Moxley and what you wanted to do with that title, but if Mox is not cleared, Mox just isn't cleared. Come up with a new direction, and no, putting it back on Orange is not a new direction. That's just hitting the refresh button. I think that was not the best idea to go with.
I don't think they have a choice, though, Jesse.
Of course they have a choice. They have a whole roster full of talented motherfuckers.
Listen, I like Moxley as champion. I thought it was going to be something a little bit more maybe long-term to get that championship out of the hole that it's in, because it started to feel too much like the TNT title, where it was like a TV title and defended randomly with open challenges. Now, Christian Cage has done tremendous with the TNT title. It's more like their intercontinental championship now, and he's bringing some level of prestige back to it. I wish that long-term booking would actually kind of float over to the international championship. But this may be an opportunity, like Drew said. I think that's a great point, to move Moxley away from this, because I do think it's beneath him. And I just felt like Tony Khan put him in that situation because he's basically done everything else he could do at the top of the card, and he's not going to be back there anytime soon with MJF, feuding with almost everybody. But now this opens up the door to maybe get Swerve. Instead of having Swerve go after the TNT title, maybe Swerve goes after the international championship. Or maybe we move someone like Miro or Malachi Black coming back from a tag team element and doing him in a single against Orange Cassidy, because both of those guys would fit the bill perfectly for the international championship. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, give me Ricky Starks, give me Swerve, give me anybody. But I think what needs to happen here is that international championship has been basically your wrestlers who's going to wrestle every night, every Dynamite, and defend it. And I don't think Mox's body, just like Bryan Danielson's, can handle that. Yeah. I know he's tried, but we are starting to see the deterioration of both these men. And that's unfortunate, but it's just the nature of this unforgiving business. So putting that championship on Mox and making him try it out every Wednesday night and defend it, I think is not the most logical choice here.
No, I'd put it on. I would put it on someone like Takeshita. I mean, give the Don Callis family some rub. That would be a great, representative for that title as well. Jesse, what do you think about that?
Yeah, Takeshita would be great. It's not about, having someone to put the title on. And they can throw a fucking dart at the wall of roster and hit someone that's qualified to carry that title and do something fantastic with it. It's just a matter of how do you get to that person this quickly and short of notice because of the quick injuries. So I get it. And it seems that we may have shied him away from ever doing another vacant title again, or, an interim champion again. So he just kind of just like, well, put it on this guy and put it on this guy.
It's not a bad thing, Jesse, though.
Yeah. In this particular instance, if maybe it feels like a vacant title would have been best for this particular situation. Because again, putting it back on Orange Cassidy just seems a little counterproductive because he killed it. He already killed it. It's already done. There's nothing more for him to do with that title. And now he has it again. I'm gonna
throw this to the both of you here. What if the story they're trying to tell is Cassidy and Hook? Hook ends up winning that championship.
That's a very good observation. Hook doesn't really have its championship that's recognized by AEW as a real championship.
Oh, and they're buddies right now.
Yep.
Hook had a backpack. I thought maybe he was going to hand the backpack to Cassidy to put the championship in. He didn't. There's just some things that I think that I give TK a lot of shit. I do, because I think he's all over the place, but he does really, circle the wagon sometimes. And I think this is something we might be missing.
It's a possibility. I don't mind that at all. Hook and Orange Cassidy for that title, I would totally get behind that. How do you guys feel about this Toni Storm gimmick now that it's finally starting to be fleshed out on AEW television? RJ City and Toni Storm, I like the dynamic between these two. I wasn't a big fan of RJ City in the first place, but I do think that him being almost like a number one interviewer for Toni Storm, like she's got him in her back pocket. He's solo for her. I think that works. And now the gimmick is starting to be fleshed out on TV, where there are rumors, Drew, about Mariah May coming over from Stardom. Now, I don't know if you guys know who she is or if you know her work. I don't really know her work, but I know what she looks like and who she is and where she comes from. But the idea is to take someone who's just as beautiful, I would say, as Toni Storm, make her a protege, and have her learn under Toni Storm in a new stable as she continues her battle against the old outcasts. What do you think about this entire rumor going around that she's going to have a stable? Drew?
I don't hate it. This is a perfect example of me, and you should all take this lesson. When they aired these short films, silent films, and the box was this big, and then there was the commercials, I was like, is there something wrong with AEW? Like, have they not learned? Then I was like, oh, this is part of the bit. And I was about to tweet, like, wow, way to really screw up these silent films. That's the bit. The bit is that, it was this big and everything. And we had the commercials and Toni was kind of overlooked.
But you still couldn't see it, though. Like, I couldn't fucking see what was going on.
I was about to rant on Twitter or X and be like,
but there was music in the background. They actually uploaded it to Twitter, and the music made it that much better. Like, you couldn't hear anything.
I think that was the bit, though. I think they were kind of like basically overshadowing Toni, and Toni gets overshadowed again.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right.
In her cinematic masterpiece, I think that was the bit. And I almost went to X and was like, all right, I'm going to rant here because AEW is just dropping the ball. But I love what Toni Storm's doing. You want to talk about a company who dropped the ball? WWE dropped the ball with Toni Storm, and AEW picked up with it and kind of, hit a home run or a slam dunk, if we're going to continue with the ball reference here. But I don't mind the stable. Does she need it? No, but I don't hate it. She's taking on proteges. Go for it.
Jesse?
They tried stables with Toni Storm. It didn't work. I don't want to see it again right now. She's solo right now as she stands. We just got done saying how Toni Storm is in this new gimmick. We love it. She's killing it. Fantastic. Doing great stuff. Every week she does something different. I like it. And now we're going to talk about putting her back in the stable. She's doing great. She does not need a stable right now. Let her finish this gimmick out right now. It's fucking killing. Will the stable make it better? I don't know. Maybe. or maybe not. What I do know is that this gimmick right now is killing it. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let her play it out. Maybe come up with a stable down the road for it after this run has run its course with this new gimmick. But hold on for a minute. This is working. Continue it. It is working. She does not need a new stable right now. Not yet.
And correct me if I'm wrong, she was mocking the commercials. Like when they were doing a car commercial, she was like in the thing doing the commercial. I was like, wow, that's genius. But
well, you dissected that more than I did, man. I was like, what the fuck, man? I just want to hear the goddamn music with this silent film.
I was pissed because I was like, I kind of want to see this because I'm invested in her character. And then I was sitting there and I'm like, what in God's name? And then I was like, oh, this is part of the bit. I had to give it a second. I had to calm down, which all of you should before you tweet.
My wife.
Good thing I have level-headed guys here with me. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
My wife told me the same thing. I literally said, I'm not even kidding. I said the same thing. Like, well, we can't even hear this movie of hers. What are we doing? And she was sitting right away. She said, they said it's a silent film. I said, oh, I missed that part because I was glancing over my other screen at NXT. But yeah, no, I get it. I get the bit. It was fantastic. I will go back and watch it with the music because a silent movie does need music, and another commercial behind the silent movie is not that great. But I get the gimmick. I like the gimmick. I'm falling in love with the gimmick. To change it and add a layer or things like that could be premature. Let's see where this goes. Right now, if I think about it for a second, she is the hottest thing in the women's division right now. Run with it. Run with it.
Man, long are the days gone of her being cream pie on WWE television, huh?
Whoa.
Okay. All right. Well, PG
family.
Show.
It's a family program.
Yeah, really, man.
I at least had to get a reaction out of you guys, man. I do it.
Whoa.
Listen,
haven't you gotten enough heat from the women's division?
Listen, I'm only joking, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yes, it's great. And, I see her as the women's champion again eventually because I don't know how you don't give her the championship at the end of this run with this gimmick, but she's killing it. And it's character development, which, again, we don't really see on AEW television. And they let Toni Storm just kind of own this gimmick. And now they see it taking off. And now they want to put her on TV more, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one mistake here tonight was that women's championship, which we'll talk about.
Yeah. We'll talk about Wardlow, too. Wardlow, man? Listen, I know Jesse and I have ranted on Wardlow for many, many weeks. And it's not because we don't like Wardlow. We are big fans of Wardlow. We are big fans of what he brings to the table. And we are actually upset that Tony Khan dropped the ball after that MJF feud and seemingly didn't know what to do with him. And I just get a feeling that, again, they don't know what to do with him because they're going back to the well again with the same thing that they did the first time with him beating jobbers. Not like Matt Seidel's a jobber, but I mean, he's more of an enhancement.
I didn't even know the guy was still on the roster.
Me neither. I mean, I thought he was Ring of Honor, but here he is on Dynamite tonight. 1 minute, Powerbomb Symphony. Wardlow shows up. He leaves through the arena. He doesn't even look at anybody. He goes and jumps the barricade and then walks out of the building. But what are we doing here? And is this AEW just kind of churning their wheels and just doing whatever they can with Wardlow until his contract runs out because they don't know what the fuck they're doing? And how do you think Wardlow feels, Drew, about this? Now with the rumor that, and it is a rumor, that Triple H is now 99.9% in charge and they see, the sheer differences of Monday Night Raw becoming a much better show. With him taking over like that, and if that continues, Drew, and then someone like Wardlow's contract comes up, it's going to be a no-brainer on what he needs to do for his career because it ain't happening in AEW.
No, and I mean, there's going to be different things here, right? I mean, some WWE contracts will come up, and if AEW wants to overpay for them or just be the highest bidder, then they're going to go there too. And in this case, I think Wardlow, Hobbs, Starks, all these guys and some of the girls are going to get looked at. I think AEW doesn't know what to do with a big man. It would be nice if they started to because he has a ton of talent, needs obviously a manager maybe to get some better mic work. But him and Hobbs, man, they are tailor-fitted for WWE, and I really hope AEW does something with them so at least they can keep one of them.
Jesse, how are you feeling about this Wardlow destroying jobbers bit and then leaving through the crowd? What do you feel about this, man? I mean, this is old fucking news now.
So we wanted Wardlow back on TV.
Yes.
All right. We got it. And now we're saying that, well, he's not really doing anything. He's just out there with jobbers and just walking out of the ring through the crowd. I think we need to relax and wait a second and let the man tell his new story. He's in the ring, squashing people. Why is he leaving through the crowd? Why is there MJF written on his wrist tape? What is going on with Wardlow's head? What is going on with
I didn't see that. Was that the case? I mean, I'm fucking on my phone and tweeting and all this other shit. He had MJF on his wrist tape?
Yeah. So
that was my next question to you guys. I mean, what do we do with Wardlow going into the future? I mean, MJF's got no friends. Do we see a rekindling of their friendship here?
Well, I mean, I was gonna.
All right, get to it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, so let's find out what Wardlow is doing. He's walking out through the crowd. He's just squashing people and then leaving. No promos, nothing special. And when they had nothing for Wardlow, he was somewhere in catering. We didn't see him. I think they have something for Wardlow now, and it just may take some time to tell the story. So let's see where they go with it. I mean, we're not going to get him on TV one week and then world title feud and then push him into somebody else's storyline. He could be starting a new storyline. He could be slowly getting ready to let us know what he's going to do. Maybe he's going to turn heel. You know, we don't know. Maybe he's going to join MJF. Maybe he's a part of the fucking the faction beatdown from the other week. We don't know. Let's see where it goes. He just started. We're already ready to push him off to WWE. Let's see if they got a plan for him or not. Now, if this continues week in and week out and goes nowhere, then yes. But right now, I'm on the side of let's see where they're going with it because maybe they have something for him.
All right. Nicely said. We'll let it play out.
Let's see.
You guys do that?
Sometimes.
What? Let it play out? I don't let it play out. No.
Yeah.
No, clearly I'm impatient. We go from that to Renee. Fun fact: Renee actually called Adam Copeland Edge on the buy-in. I laughed and chuckled, but I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
How can you not? How can you not?
Renee approached Jericho backstage, and a trainer was icing his shoulder. All of a sudden, Danny Garcia walks up and wanted to check on him, but Matt Menard, Daddy Magic, took issue with Garcia caring and said, "You know, we're better than this." And Renee said she tried to get more info on Jericho later as Jericho was selling the effects of the beatdown from Powerhouse Hobbs. What do you make of this? Are we going to start to see some of the old JAS members try and kind of get back in Jericho's good graces here and say, you know what? We actually do care about this guy, Drew?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jericho's going to take some time off here. But yeah, I think it's basically like, hey, you know, we left that guy in the dust and now look, he's crumbling without us. So what story are we telling here? Does he need the JAS to be relevant? It seems like he does, right?
Yeah.
So,
which is only going to make those guys in the JAS look bigger. There you go. Boom. Adam Page and Jay White. Jay White's out there with Bullet Club Gold, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, and Juice Robinson. And then he's got the cardboard cutout of Jay White, which they're calling Cardblade. And this was a great...
tricycles.
Yeah, and tricycles, yes. And they were lounging at ringside watching this match like they were fucking lounging in their living room watching Dynamite. But this was a great match. This actually went the longest of all the matches tonight. 20 minutes between these two. First time meeting in AEW. Another pay-per-view caliber match. I thought this was great, but not as good as the Open with Bryan Danielson and Swerve. But just like the Open, guys, we got Swerve losing because of Page interjecting from Nana cheating. And now we got Nana coming out and ending the match because he stopped the match from going in Page's favor, and he thwarted Page from winning the match. So I like the fact that they're going and weaving these two stories throughout the show, and we're going to get that match again at some point, potentially at Full Gear, with Jay White getting the pin over Adam Hangman Page. That is a win he needed because he's going to be the challenger for MJF at the pay-per-view. And then MJF comes out and he called Mr. Jay White a son of a bitch. He says he got the main event he wanted for Full Gear. He asked for Triple B back. He's asking nicely here, or as nice as MJF could. He's asking for the belt back, and Jay did not want to give him the belt back. Crowd started chanting, "Shut the fuck up," because he said nobody wanted to hear MJF talk. MJF said he'll be the bigger man, and he knows Jay better than he knows himself, and basically went on and said that, you know, you're pulling out the MJF card. Those guys around you, you know, they are only there for obvious reasons. They're going to dump you when they don't need you anymore, and you only have them, and you're using them to get where you need to be. It's basic MJF 101, he said. He said when he looks in the mirror, he doesn't hate the reflection. He said for the first time in his life, he's earned the fans' respect. He says he cares about his brother Adam Cole, who's out injured, and he needs 2 surgeries. They're just throwing it in your face now. He said he also cares about the belt. He said that his livelihood and his legacy is also very important. He said when you win the title, it means you're the best wrestler in the world. He said if those schmucks weren't surrounding him, he'd have already taken the belt back. He says he doesn't let that cloud his judgment, though. He knows Jay White is an elite-level superstar. He said someday he will join the club as having been the AEW champion. He told him to do the hard thing for once and do what he's done and dig deep, be a man, show some dignity and respect to the sport and the fans, and give him back what he has not yet earned. And the rest of the guys are laughing. I mean, MJF is trying to be the good guy here, but they're all laughing at him like they're schoolyard bullies. So Juice, Drew, pulls out a roll of quarters, and he starts flaunting the roll of quarters, $10 worth of quarters, in MJF's face from the ring, and then says that there's a Dynamite Diamond Dozen Battle Royal next week for MJF's Dynamite Diamond Ring. Says he's going to win that Battle Royal and hold everything he owns. He says when he's done, he's going to give him a present. He pulls out the quarters, and a lot of people didn't like this, man, with what's going on in the world today. You know, a lot of people thought this was kind of lowbrow for AEW. What'd you guys make of this segment up until the roll of quarters got involved here?
I'm going to pass on this one.
Okay. Jesse?
I just,
it was in bad taste. It was in bad taste.
I don't think it meant to be in bad taste,
Yes.
But they should have done some more research on it. I know what they were trying to hit on. He was bullied, MJF, with the quarters and stuff like that, but it just,
Yeah, especially not what's going on right now. Jesse, what'd you make of this entire segment? Do you feel like we talked about on Dynamite, man? You know, MJF is starting to finally start to mold himself into that tweener. Seems like the Bullet Club is starting to bring that out of him, man. Like, he's starting to realize that he's earned the fans' respect, and he can be that angry MJF when he needs to, especially now that he's got no fucking friends around him.
I love how you set me up with a question, then answer it for me, and then want my opinion. You cannot just
give me your opinion.
I think he's protecting you.
I mean, right. I mean, like, you want to let me speak, or you want to speak for me? What are we doing here? I don't think it's look. For me, it falls under the guise of pro wrestling. All right. I don't think it was a big deal. I think there are and were much worse to go on in the pro wrestling world to get upset about. And this is just not one of them, especially since, like we said, MJF has brought this up in his promo about the quarter situation and everything else. This is just them bringing physicality to the promo that MJF gave us, you know? And for MJF, for us fans that know MJF, we know that it's hard to get him rattled on the microphone because no one in that company can outshine him in a promo battle. But when you find something that can get under his skin, you should use it. And it's believable that a roll of quarters would trigger MJF like that. Look at his response. He went from cool and casual and like, hey, I want my belt back, to, you motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know, you don't get that emotion just by saying, I don't like you. They got that emotion out from a babyface MJF, and it's going to get the crowd even more behind them. And it's going to want them really, really, really want to see him get his title back and kick his ass for using those comments. For me, as long as MJF was on board with it,
which I'm sure he was.
And we know
he's
he
100%
was
on board with it.
Yeah, then I don't see it as a big deal.
And by the way, Juice Robinson does use quarters regularly. He uses it with the right hand of God, his signature punch. So
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's whatever.
I think it falls under one of those people need to relax type deals.
Yeah. I mean, people make mountain out of molehills, but I get it. I just think, could have done something else. I mean, could have done brass knuckles. I get it. It was part of MJF being bullied in high school or elementary school, whatever the case may be. I get it, but there's other ways around it. So
MJF, Jay White, going to be a classic at Full Gear. MJF, a lot of people are kind of talking about other aspects of pro wrestling, wrestler of the year, this guy, that guy. You know, MJF to me is still top notch. Wrestler of the year, I think he's got the best match of the year, in my opinion, with Bryan Danielson. You know, quietly putting together a tremendous world championship run that I think some people are still kind of undervaluing and underappreciating. Does he lose the title, Drew, to Jay White? Do we see a change of the guard here, or do we continue with MJF into 2024?
No, I think we 100% see MJF continue with that AEW World Championship. I think when we see him lose that championship, it's going to be major, and it's going to involve Adam Cole and maybe like a screw job or something. Yeah. So this isn't it.
Speaking of championships changing hands, we got Saraya and Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. This went 11 minutes, and I actually thought this was a very good match for what it was. They went on at the 9:30 time slot. They got a decent amount of time. It's Title Tuesday, Women's Championship on the line here. I actually thought this was Saraya's best match in AEW. Sorry, Brett. Sorry, I know you guys had a great match last year, but I think Saraya and Hikaru Shida was a better match. Shida is fucking great. She is just so consistent in everything she does. And I know Jesse and I spoke about this in London. Tony Khan loves making moments. He simply, obviously, after tonight, we now know the answer, put the title on Saraya because it was a great moment in Wembley in front of her family. Now Sheeta's a 3-time champion, and she's the champion once again. It makes me wonder, Jesse, like we discussed all those Wednesdays ago, why they took the title off her in the first place when she didn't really do anything with the championship. But now we're looking at a situation where they put the title back on her. Why would fans expect anything different with this third Shida run, man?
Yeah, so if you go back and if you listen, I mean, I believe I said that I didn't mind this title change in London. I mean, I know it was done to create a moment, but I think because since they weren't really doing anything in particular with the women's title, I didn't mind it as much because there was a fantastic moment for Saraya. And at the end of the day, she deserves it, man, for the road that she has traveled through her career and everything like that. And again, they were not doing anything in particular. It wasn't like they were ending some historic, women's title reign just to give Saraya a pop. They weren't doing anything in particular with the title at the time. So I didn't mind it as much. And I thought it was a fantastic moment for Saraya. Now, that being said, now that they know that Saraya can't hold the title for very long and they want to put it on someone else, I would not agree to put it right back on fucking Shida, man. I mean, I love Shida. But like you just said, now she's a 3-time champion. I would have a plan in place to start something anew with that women's title and have that woman take it off of Saraya when that time has come. And I don't think putting it back on Saraya was the best idea. Now, who should it have gone to? I don't know, because the same reason why it shouldn't have went to back to Shida is my same reason why I shouldn't go back to Toni Storm either. I mean, it just happened. It just happened. Toni Storm, as it looks right now, will be the next recipient of that women's title, if you ask me, but it needs to wait a little bit because they just put it on Saraya. So I don't know who to give it to, but I would not put it back on Shida right now. They need to come up with more women to elevate, man. I don't know what else to tell.
Well, Drew, I saw you shaking your head. I mean, I'm kind of thinking about what Jesse's saying here, and I feel like Saraya should have held on to the title to drop it to Toni Storm. I mean, that's the story there. Why didn't they go and do that?
That is, if that's where they were going. They're not, clearly. Saraya, I thought the title change was dumb when I saw it. But now my wheels are starting to turn here. And I believe Full Gear is at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. And I believe everybody and their mother wants Mercedes Moné. So there you go. Mercedes Moné, Shida. Shida puts over Moné. Moné is your new AEW World's Women's Championship. And we're off to the races.
I'm afraid to bring that up because, I mean, we talk about it all the time. When's Mercedes coming in? When's Mercedes coming in? I mean, it's what we want. I mean, Jesse and I have talked about this every fucking week. You know, we don't know when she's coming in. We don't know the nature of her injury. So what you're basically saying without saying it is that they didn't trust a great match with Saraya and Mercedes, even though the history is there.
No, I'm not saying they don't trust it. Saraya had a hell of a match tonight. Like you said, best match that she's had. For me, I keep the championship on Saraya, but maybe they're trying to protect Saraya so she doesn't take an L to Mercedes Moné. I don't know.
Possibly.
But realistically, Sheeta's won that championship 3 times, which means she's lost it. So, I mean, she could lose a match for debuting Mercedes Moné, and then we're off to the races. My match that I wanted to see is the one you said. I would really have rather seen Toni Storm taking on Saraya. We saw it, I believe, but it wasn't, Toni Storm should have won that championship. She didn't. Maybe they save it for another date. Maybe Saraya can't hold the load, truthfully, of being the AEW World's Women's Championship. So take the championship off her.
I was going to say, I think there's a reason they took that title off of her so soon, is because she can't go. She can't hold that title till Full Gear. She's not well enough to perform in the ring that much until Full Gear. I think that's why they took the title off of her. Otherwise, they could have saved it for a pay-per-view at least. They just dropped it tonight. I
agree, but everybody and their mother was like, hey, we need to see Mercedes Moné on this show because they got to compete with WWE. No, stupid. Or Wrestle Dream. It would have never been remembered because everything anybody was talking about was Adam Copeland. So what do you do at Full Gear? It's in LA. That's where Mercedes is from, right? Go ahead, go do it there. It makes the most sense.
I like it. I hope that actually does happen, and I would not have a problem with seeing that come Full Gear. MJF was backstage. He was kind of upset about what had happened with the Bullet Club. He says he's not in the mood to be interviewed by Renee, but he wanted to call his brochacho for some advice. MJF called Adam Cole. He actually picked up. There was service. He's updating him on what's going on. He asked him where he's been. Cole's reception started getting bad, and he still said that he was at Strong's house in the middle of nowhere. The call then dropped and ended. So Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn walked up, and Max Caster offered to team with him against the Bullet Club if he needs help. MJF shook his head no and walked away. Billy had a problem with Max Caster asking MJF if he needed help and said, who made you the determination of offering up our services here? Caster said they began wrestling together and considers Max a friend, plus he needs their help. Caster says he also likes when he plays hard to get. That's, been the ongoing thing with those two, especially on social media. Bowen shook his head and Gunn walked away. What do you guys make of the Acclaimed wanting to befriend MJF here against the Bullet Club? Do you like it, or did he walk away because he maybe has somebody else in mind and he doesn't want to have to deal with the Acclaimed here? Drew.
I don't understand the correlation between the Acclaimed and MJF besides what we've seen on television and on Twitter. I get it. Like, he's obsessed with MJF and whatever else. But for me, MJF's going to need backup. So now it's Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed. That it works, but I mean, again, the storyline here is Cole and MJF, and I'm glad that they continue it. Cole and MJF still can't get in touch with each other, which makes sense because MJF's first question to Adam, if he could actually talk to him, is going to be like, where are you? And then, did you get your surgery? Neither are going to be a yes or I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be there next week or something like that. So to me, that's the whole story here. MJF can't ask Adam why he hasn't had his surgery yet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Jesse, what do you make of this Acclaimed correlation with MJF, and is there anybody better? I mean, the Acclaimed should be worrying about their trios championships, and who else is left for Max to ask for help?
I don't see a reason why the Acclaimed needs to be involved with MJF right now. I'm trying to come up with one. I just can't.
No, they're basically playing up to the marks on social media. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, I can't come up with one. I like going by what we see on TV because that's what we're working with, what they give us on TV. So I think it's hilarious how Max, plays with Max on Twitter. But outside of that, to correlate that into what we see on TV, I don't see the relation there. I don't see how the transition, how it works. It feels a little out of place now, unless there's some deeper meaning here, unless there's some deeper story going on here. Like, we're going to get the reveal of who's involved in this mystery beatdown or something, or things like that. Maybe that'll come into play. But outside of this, I really don't see a reason why the Acclaim needs to be getting involved with MJF, especially since his hands are seriously full on so many different levels. I don't mind the Acclaim getting a little bit of that MJF rub. I mean, that's always a good thing. That's fine. But it just doesn't feel like it makes any sense right now, though.
I don't mind the Acclaim, but Drew, before you say anything, I don't mind the Acclaim getting involved if, for one reason, they get involved with the Bullet Club and then drop the Trios Championships to Juice and the Guns. I don't mind that at all. I think that would be a lot better for those titles.
Works for me. Works for me on that. Guys and girls in the chat. Mercedes Monet. Mercedes, whatever you say her last name, Vidaro, whatever, is not from Boston. She trained there. She's from California. Knock it off. Do some research. Thanks. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
And she's from Boston in the wrestling world. That's where she's from.
Right. She was born in Fairfield, California, and
Does she look like she's from Boston?
No.
Not once was she ever built from California. She's built from Boston.
Right.
So as far as we're concerned, she
okay. She lives in California, just so everyone knows too.
I get it. Where's Eminem from?
I thought she lived in Orlando.
Where's Eminem from?
Well, he lived at 8 Mile in Detroit.
I mean, but he's from Kansas City, right? I mean,
wait, I thought Mercedes lived in Florida or Orlando.
All right.
No, not where she lives, where she's from.
I like your idea of the Trios Championship, getting this show back on track. We're fucking stalkers now, asking everybody where Mercedes lives. Right. Who gives a shit? I get. That's why I moved on.
Boston,
yeah.
I like us from Stone Mountain, Georgia. I mean, that's
I like the fact that we could have Bullet Club Gold holding the trios. I like it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, they're playing up the marks with this storyline. It is what it is. I mean, Max got no friends. Maybe it's Wardlow. I'd like to see what Jesse kind of willed into existence here with Wardlow. Maybe we do have to let that play out. I don't know. I think that would be great.
The DVR here. He does have MJF written on his.
Okay, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. That's a little Easter egg there for sure.
Yep.
Anyway,
Mr. Xander said Eminem is 100% from Detroit. Don't even do that. See, they don't even care. They don't care where they were born. It's where they claim to be from. That's what's important. She said she's from Boston. The woman's from Boston.
Boston.
There it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, Christian Cage, he is easily the best thing about AEW television right now, in my honest opinion. That's a lot to say because MJF's been so good with his Adam Cole story. But this Christian Edge storyline is going to definitely take the cake for me. And I said this last week when I was solo on the Dynamite review. This story is very easy to follow, and it's very academic. Christian is having a career renaissance. Edge left WWE because there was nothing for him over there. Christian actually started to become a little bit more superior than Edge. Now Christian sees Edge or Adam Copeland in AEW and trying to steal his thunder away from him. And I just had a feeling that the next words out of Christian's mouth were going to be, I don't need you anymore. You're over here because you need me because I've been better than you for the last 3 years. And that's exactly what Christian said in this promo tonight. He told the fans to keep the noise down. He needed to conduct business. He said, unlike their Kansas City Chiefs, he doesn't need the extra help to get his wins. Now, what does that mean, Drew? What happened over there?
I mean, there was some penalties that should have been called a couple times. I mean, the Chiefs screwed the Jets. The refs had to get in that. And then the Chiefs, in my opinion, got away with some stuff against the Minnesota Vikings.
Look, man, nobody wants to see Tay lose, okay?
Yeah,
Tay needs to win.
Well, nothing's going to get you more heat than fucking burying the city's football team. I'll tell you that. He said he took some digs at Copeland, and he says he's not the leader of Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne, but rather he's their father. And he said a few years ago, Copeland didn't want to finish their careers together like he suggested, like they do last week. He said back then he was deliberately being held back when he was clearly the more talented of the two. He asked where his tag team aspirations were back then. How things have changed. He said Copeland's career is a downward slope while his career is on the rise, and he's the most talked about star in the business. He also made a indirect reference to Judgment Day here and basically called them losers and what Adam Copeland did with them losers. He said Copeland needs him. He doesn't need Copeland. He says he has a lot of fans around the world. He does, believe it or not. He says he knows his wife, Beth, is a huge fan. He says he's already bored, so he's going to have Luchasaurus end him right here. He then told Beth to put some clean sheets on the bed because your new father is coming home. Girls. I mean, we're just taking this gimmick to the next level, man. I find it to be hilarious. But, Drew, what do you make of this story? Like I said, it's very academic. I mean, there was only one direction that it could go in, and Christian hit all the notes, and I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, Christian's career was stalling. Edge's career was going to the next level. And the whole storyline here is that, like, Okay, Edge wants to get back with his best friend. Now it's okay for you to want to team up with me. I don't need you. I'm at the peak of, the height of my career right now. I don't need you. Just because you deem it appropriate for us to get back together as a tag team, that's what you want, doesn't mean I'm going to oblige. So like he said on last week's Dynamite, go fuck yourself. I'm with it. I like the storyline. It's very academic, but it's perfect. It's exactly what AEW needs to do. And those two, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, should not touch in a singles match for a very long time.
No, I agree. We're gonna get some tag team matches in between, though. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, that they should become a tag team. They should rekindle and become a tag team before they ultimately split again and then come to that head-to-head confrontation down the road.
Now, what does a Christian Cage and Adam Copeland tag team look like in 2023, 2024? I mean, we're gonna get the fucking the poses in the ring. We're gonna get the fun-loving Edge and Christian podcast type of guys again here on AEW television, or are we gonna get the current models of what we see now? I mean, it's gonna be difficult to kind of decipher between the two. Which versions do you go with?
Let me pose this question to the both of you. You just signed Adam Copeland to, let's just say, a 2 to 3 year deal. We'll go 3 year at a maximum, 2 year at a minimum. What are you doing first? You doing the Edge and Christian tag teams, or are you going to do, Copeland and Christian tag team, or are you going to have Copeland do some singles run, have them have the singles match, and then maybe you do the tag teams when Copeland's career or contract is coming to an end?
No, I do the tag team stuff last. I have them end together, and that's what he wanted. He wanted his career to end with them at the top together, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to do the singles first and then the tag team.
Jesse?
I would tease them becoming a tag team first. I mean, a babyface tag team. Somehow Adam convinces Christian to come back to the babyface side, and then they do a very brief run. And I mean, like, a match or two before Christian double downs on his heel turn and then really fucks up Edge, sends him home for a couple of weeks, nothing fucking crazy. And then we come back to that feud. Now it has blood straight behind it, as opposed to just like past stuff. Now he's really pissed off. Now we get pissed off Edge coming back for Christian. That's what I would do with it.
What would you do, Drew?
I would save the Edge and Christian, like, happy-go-lucky stuff, Copeland Christian's happy-go-lucky stuff towards the end of his contract, because I think that's where the most juice is. That's where the most money is going to be. Everybody wants to see it, so I make people wait for it, especially when I'm trying to get a return on my investment. That's what I do for a living. That's what JD and Jesse do. I mean, they try and get you guys to tune in so that you guys, make the return. And you're investing in their product. So for me, I would have the singles match at All In. I would, if I could drag it as far as I could, that's what I would do. If we can't, then, we do it in 4 months from now. But I'd have Copeland win a championship, maybe the AEW World Championship. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe the TNT Championship. Who knows? I don't know. But I would end the contract and the career of Adam Copeland with his best friend Christian, maybe holding those tag team championships for a little bit.
Yeah, I agree there. This match with Luchasaurus, Drew, I'll start with you. I know a lot of people kind of shun this at first, like, really, that's his first match with Luchasaurus. You couldn't do anything better than Luchasaurus. But I mean, time and time again, Adam Copeland, Edge, whatever you want to call him, I mean, they constantly kind of, don't trust him. Like, I mean, he's such a master storyteller. He's done it his entire career. I don't know why anybody would think that what this man does in that ring is going to be a subpar performance. I thought tonight he actually brought Luchasaurus to one of his best matches in all of AEW since Luchasaurus has been there. The only thing I can really remember is what he's done with Jack Perry, and that was inside a steel cage to open a pay-per-view last year. I thought that was tremendous. Outside that, I thought this was Luchasaurus' best performance.
Yeah, I think what they did was genius. They put a lot of sympathy on Adam. Because realistically, everyone was like, "Oh, the neck, the this, the that," and I was like, "Okay, like here we're finally getting something where, oh man, is his neck gonna hold up?" It's smart booking. Was Luchasaurus like my first pick for an opponent out of the gate for Adam Copeland? No, but it lends itself to the storyline. It blends, and again, it was really good storytelling in the ring for both Copeland and Luchasaurus, in my opinion. I thought the match hit on every accord you'd want it to.
What exactly what do people want as far as Edge's first match? I mean,
Well, you know what?
Kenny Omega?
Yeah, that's exactly what they want, Jesse. You know what it is? It's like, oh my God, he left WWE. Now he's wrestling a guy in a dinosaur mask. What a downgrade. Give me a break.
First off, TK signed this guy, and I'm quite positive that he gave Copeland an open book to pick his first opponent. Work with whoever the hell you want to work with. And he probably picked Luchasaurus. Now, what do you want him to do? Start at the top of the card, then work his way down? He found somebody he's never worked with before ever in his career to have a match with. Start off. You want to get his feet wet before he gets to a pay-per-view and start giving us a 20-minute fucking classic.
Well, let's be real. He didn't really have a lot of pickings there. If he wanted to work with Chris, he's either got Luchasaurus or Nick Wayne. He's not going to go right for Christian Cage.
Well, he could have worked this a simple singles match with anyone, and then it had Christian Cage and Luchasaurus come down to interfere.
I'll use the analogy that nobody's using. Your first date with a girl, you take her to Ruth Chris Steakhouse? No, you don't. No, you don't.
It depends on who it is. So, no.
Well, wait a minute. You never took a first date out to a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, but I'm not dropping $500 on the meal because then it just sets. All right, well, that just sets the precedent. That sets the tone. Adam Copeland's first match back on a Dynamite that's free is against Kenny Omega. No, we're gonna make you pay for that shit.
Well, they said the same. They did the same thing with Jay White. Oh, why isn't he world champion? He's buried. But like Jesse said, he said it how many times? You want him to start at the top, and then there's no way to go. Where you going to go down? Right. Watching these guys rise up to the top is the fucking best thing about watching the show.
Yeah,
exactly. What was it? Punk's first match was Darby Allin.
Yeah. Punk wanted Darby, but
and same thing. I'm sure Adam wanted Luchasaurus. I'm pretty sure he picked an opponent to stay within the wheelhouse of the Christian Cage storyline. I get it, but at the same time, this was not a terrible choice. You don't want to start off, at the top of the fucking card. There was nothing wrong with starting off with Luchasaurus. What, they want to start off with Christian Cage?
No, I don't.
What do they want?
People are stupid. And let's start showing some appreciation for Luchasaurus too. He's a very good big man, and one of the few big men that AEW has actually booked decently. So let's give him some credit there.
Yeah, but everybody wants everything for free.
Yeah,
and they want it now. Damn it!
I'm firmly behind the belief that it does not matter who on that roster they put Adam in the ring with first, someone was going to fucking complain about it.
Well, yeah, and it's also the thing that I've seen about AEW's collision attendance and all this other stuff, and people are taking pictures and stuff like that. SmackDown had this problem. Raw had this problem. It's part of it's ebbs and flows of business. Realistically, there's a lot of money right now tied up in media rights. Why do you think WWE stacked the deck with NXT? Because they want to show you that even though if they have good competition on Tuesday, we could trot out whomever the hell we want and blow the ratings out of the water. So, it's ebbs and flows of business.
And listen, NXT is going to beat AEW in the ratings. Am I going to lose sleep over? Is Drew going to lose sleep over? Is Jesse going to lose sleep over? No, we don't give a shit, man. You know what? You want to know why? Because they watch NXT. I don't know if they enjoyed it or not, and we enjoyed Dynamite. That's all that mattered.
You know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to watch the ratings come out. We're going to do TNT. I'm going to have a glass of Pinot Noir and a nice T-bone steak, and I'm going to go to bed because I'm not buying the media rights for either of these companies.
I don't care. Somebody said, we'll see when the ratings come out. I was like, I don't watch ratings. I watch wrestling, bro.
Right.
There's a
I like that. Now you should make that a t-shirt.
Yeah. Seriously, if AEW is winning in the ratings, great for them. If WWE is winning for the ratings, same thing. Great for them. I'm going to watch what I enjoy. I'm done watching AEW because the ratings are higher over there. So I don't care where the ratings lie. I'm going to watch the show that I prefer. Yeah. And I wish people would take that into account and stop trying to come up with a winner.
Yeah, it's a small minority of people. They don't really matter, and their opinions don't really matter. They haven't seen sunlight in fucking weeks, so it doesn't really matter.
AEW's in the mud. Look at the attendance, dude. Yeah. You're talking about a billionaire. Mm-hmm. A billionaire.
But TV
He's
rights
not drinking Red Apple Ale like this jerk off.
What are you drinking there? Oh my God.
Red Apple Ale.
I'm just kidding.
I don't drink beer, man.
You don't?
No, I don't drink beer.
You hang out with JD and you don't drink beer?
I do not. I drink whiskey. I don't drink beer.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Anyway, this match with Luchasaurus is very good. There were a couple of spots, like Drew made a good point about Edge's neck, and they sold the story on the neck. There was a couple of spots where they really made you believe that he was one injury away from ending his fucking AEW run already. Luchasaurus set up a suplex off the top onto some steps that he set up on the outside. They were kind of teasing that throughout the match. Edge fought back, landed a superplex off the top rope, which looked fucking nasty. Both guys were down. They were slow to get up. Luchasaurus then frog leaped over Copeland, and Copeland tried to spear, and Copeland crashed into a steel chair that Nick Wayne wedged into the corner. Luchasaurus then chokeslammed Copeland for a near fall. They showed Christian, who was sitting on the stage in a chair watching the match. They stood to give each other simultaneous big boots, so they had a big double down. So Luchasaurus slammed Copeland onto the ring apron and then leapt onto the steps and then at Luchasaurus with a spear. It looked like a half a spear. It looked like he didn't get all of it, but the fact that he had to kind of bob and weave in midair and jump off the steps and then jump to Luchasaurus was a nice spot. So Christian, he starts getting frustrated here. He runs down to the ring with the TNT title. Copeland yanked it away from him, hit Luchasaurus in the head with it. Nick Wayne was distracting the ref. He was anticipating Christian using it. Luchasaurus got up, and he thought that Christian hit him with the title and didn't realize it was Edge. So Edge caught Luchasaurus with a spear. When he turned around, 1, 2, 3, and Adam Copeland wins the match over Luchasaurus. Afterwards, Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus beat up on Edge. Bryan Danielson and the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club come out there. Claudio, Wheeler Yuta ran out and beat up Nick Wayne and Christian. Gates of Agony then get involved with Claudio and Yuta. Hangman charged out there. Edge speared Wayne. And they're kind of weaving all these stories into the end of the show to get you to Collision. I thought it was a great ending to the show. We got something to look forward to on Saturday. Adam Copeland had a great match. Luchasaurus looked good. And Dynamite was a solid show tonight, man. I don't know what you guys thought of it at the end, but Title Tuesday I thought was a big success for AEW.
Bro, I got to tell you, man, I'm not going to lie. When I was watching that match and I watched them set those stairs up and they climbed the rope and Copeland was in the match, I started watching the screen like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was the same way as you, man. I was anticipating something bad happening.
Don't fucking
But
do
he's not like Darby. He's not Darby.
Oh God. I was like,
that's the beauty of what they were telling you.
Yeah.
That match, realistically, everyone, I don't want to see Copeland versus Luchasaurus. And realistically, if you were watching this, you're sitting there and you're like, holy shit, they have me emotionally invested. This guy's going to kill Adam Copeland and his career. He's going to have one match in AEW. It was great storytelling. And at the end of the day, that's what professional wrestling in its purest art form is great storytelling and manipulating the crowd. And they did that both on television and in the audience.
Yeah, if they're making you feel that way, Jesse, Adam Copeland did his job.
Yeah, they did. They did. Did you see the sign in the crowd that said, please stop doing Canadian Destroyer?
Yes, I did.
I hope they saw that sign.
My sign of the night was, do you like my sign? I was like,
yeah,
yes,
I saw that one.
Now, listen, the sign of the night was by Jeremy Lewis, who brought an OTS sign to the crowd.
I did
that was
see
caught
that
on TV during the
there we
MJF
go.
segment. There you go. So shout out to Jeremy Lewis. But thank you guys for joining us on the AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday post show. Oh my goodness!
Whoa, there he is.
Whoa, we got
there was a couple of them in here, JD.
Whoa!
No, those were rupees.
Oh, those were got it.
Look for the color scheme.
God motherfucking damn it, man. Osakui with a $500 super chat here. Jesus Christ. What is this guy saying? Thoroughly enjoying the show, guys. I know I've been gone for a minute. Had some family stuff to deal with, but I didn't miss a single show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday night. JD, bro, your grind continues to be an inspiration. Truly, much love, Drew. I've been really digging your inputs. Keep it up. Jesse, hope you and the family are good. We love Osakui. He's absolutely a VIP. He owns this OTS venue behind me. I don't.
Beast. By the way, guys, since the writer's strike is now over, Osakui is now back to work.
That is a great thing.
The new season of Bosch is getting ready to come out, man.
That is a great thing. We definitely love Osakui here. Brother, thank you so much, man. Always leaving me speechless. Thank you for the kind words. Drew and I appreciate it for Tuesday. Jesse appreciates it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
Very generous of you. Thank you for the support.
Let's get into the super chats here, man. And then we can go enjoy the rest of our evenings. But listen, guys, you're almost at 1,000. I would love if you guys can get to 1,000 likes. We got 851 likes, so let's get those likes up.
Bro, after Osakui's bomb, I think everyone in this chat is obligated to hit that thumbs up button.
Absolutely.
Everyone.
We had close to 3K in here.
Yeah. That's great, man. A lot of people were anticipating this little three-man review, so I really appreciate you guys' excitement for it. And when it calls for it and time permits for everybody, we'll be happy to do it for you. But follow us on social. I'm JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Follow Drew at Andrew Baydala on Twitter. Same thing with Jesse at Chi-Town Smark. You're going to catch Jesse and I on Wednesday next week. I will be back after my little mini vacation, stepping away for some personal shit. And then Drew and I will be live tomorrow night with, I guess it's Wednesday Night Titans. But listen, man, it's fucking every night Titans. We're doing the thing on Tuesday night. Now it's kind of bleeding on to Wednesday. So make sure you guys tune in to that. We got a lot of stuff to go over. And we'll go over all the weekly happenings in WWE and AEW. We got a $2 super chat from Jim Cornette. If Vince brought back Velveteen Dream, what do you guys think? I made a video on this, which is going on tomorrow. Dream is not coming back.
Don't worry about it. It's a scenario we never have to worry about.
No, I mean, with Endeavor being now in charge of WWE, why would they allow someone like that back? Come on.
Yeah, no.
Come on.
Dream is this. He's turned out to be an absolute cokehead, and looks like that is the least of his problems.
You clipping me in that statement? I didn't say it, but
least.
But Jesse, the report said that he's gotten help the last 2 years, man. In 2 years, he feels like he's ready to come back to WWE.
I sincerely hope he has gotten help and straightened his life. This is a straight shoot.
Yeah.
I sincerely hope Patrick Clark has straightened out his life, because I've seen the kind of talent that he possesses in the ring, and I would love to see him somewhere in an indie promotion or something like that if they'll have him. But unfortunately, he's never going to be back on mainstream television again.
The dream is over.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Michelle with a $2 super chat. MJF needs 3 partners to face Bullet Club. How about the Blackpool Combat Club?
No,
Not happening.
No, they got their own problems.
Yep.
Blur the Nerd with a $2 super chat. NXT was like Super Smash Brothers. Everyone was there. I mean, good for them. They wanted to do what they did, and they succeeded at it. They'll win the ratings tomorrow night. Everybody will celebrate AEW's demise, and the sun will shine on Thursday morning.
this is all to sell media rights, guys. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's okay. Everybody's gonna win. Listen, you want
to put out like 45 tweets in the last 2
I don't
days.
give a fuck if Tony Khan puts out 45,000 tweets. Do you want to know why I like it? Because we had 3,000 people in here almost for a fucking Tuesday night AEW show.
We win.
The more we win.
We win.
I win. So
The
what?
fans win. That's
Very
it.
true.
Blur, thank you, brother. Michelle with a 2. It was fun watching 2 good shows tonight. Yes, it was. Jason Barker with a 14 months. Hey, y'all. I just put in that work on Twitter. I was able to live tweet both shows. Get those likes up. Thank you, Jason.
It is.
Thank you for the 14 months. Enjoy the shows, man. Tony Brown, 199. How many minutes will Sheeta stay champ, JD? I don't know. I'm counting down the minutes already, man. Full gear.
There's
loses a full
no
gear?
story to Sheeta winning that fucking title.
No.
None.
They had to have their moment in London, and now we're stuck with this, it seems.
Yeah.
Beyond the script with the 499. Christian Cage, I know your wife is a huge fan. What a menace. Love it. OTS for life. About it. 25 months in the venue. Thank you, Beyond the Script. Appreciate you, brother. Hope all is well there. Lord Jake Coyle with 24 months. Finally got that gold microphone emote. TK was cooking on gas tonight. One of the best Dynamites of the year, in my opinion. Yeah, it was a solid show. Solid show. When Tony Khan wants to do what he needs to do, man, he is, I don't want to say unstoppable, but he's very good at what he does.
Keep building off your solid shows.
Yeah. Consistency. That's it. Week to week. Lucky Gio with the 499. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jesse.
I will say, and I think we said this at least once in the last couple of weeks, but I'll keep saying it because they deserve it. We've come here, and as much as other people don't realize it or want to admit it, we've come here and given TK and the creative team a really hard fucking time with their lack of long-term storytelling. And I think as of late, as of the last month or so, and maybe even longer, I think they've deserved that a boy for picking that up. They've changed that course. They are on top of their storytelling these days, and good job.
Yeah, it's not here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
It actually has a
You
purpose.
feel the change on AEW. You feel the change on Monday night, man. I said it last night. Monday Night Raw is the best WWE show of the week.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
happy birthday, Tony Khan. That's right.
Happy birthday, TK, man. Drink those White Claws, bro.
Yeah.
I'll be buying an old fashioned if I could. Lucky Geo, $4.99. What's up, guys? Great stream. What do each of you prefer? NXT Black and Gold or AEW? I'm going Black and Gold.
Black and Gold. Black and Gold.
We talking AEW with CM Punk? Because that's for me.
No, he didn't elaborate.
He didn't.
Now, what do you make of the news, man? Let me put you on the spot here, man. CM Punk and WWE not in discussions, man. Like all the dirt sheets fucking know, man. What's going on there? What's your opinion there? We'll talk about it tomorrow, man. Forget it.
No comment.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. Eric with 11 months. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day is OTS day. The three kings of the IWC together is always great. What are you guys drinking? Thank you, Eric.
Tequila.
Thank you
Man's
for 11
apple
months.
ale.
I'll take some good old-fashioned Knob Creek. Steven Casson.
Fucking knobber.
With a $4.99. Sheeta as champ makes me happy. The quarters don't bother me. NXT can only do this as a one-off. AEW beats them if AEW and NXT went head-to-head all year. Yeah, I would agree there. But they wanted to make a statement, so they did. Colby Duran with a $1.99. Hey, guys, I'd check out the Pillman promo. It was fire.
I did. It was very, very good.
Was it actually him speaking?
Yes.
Really?
Talked on about his dad.
Wow.
Talked about how his dad died when he was 4 and how.
But was he Lexus King?
I don't know. I maybe they announced it. I don't know. Maybe it said at the end. But I just picked up on the major hitting points, and he basically was like, the last thing I want to do is be a WWE superstar, but here I am.
You just said king.
Yeah.
You just said he's a king.
Okay.
I gave JD my thoughts on Lexus King.
Yeah. WWE wants to own everything. And
They
he's
do.
trying to pave his own path, which I respect and appreciate. I think we'll get over the name. We said the same thing about Gunther. What a terrible name. And I can't
still
really
hate
see him.
Gunther.
I can't see him not being Gunther now. So
Maybe he goes to Raw or SmackDown and becomes Brian Pillman Jr.
maybe.
Maybe it's just for NXT.
So what was this strive and this drive to have his own identity when he was Brian fucking Pillman Jr. for the last 3 years?
I think this a lot of it has to do with the IP, the intellectual property, and you're seeing, unfortunately, what happened with Edge, Adam Copeland. It's basically WWE's IP, just without those, without Edge, without the trademark Edge. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that part. I get he can't have his real name because WWE wants to own it. I get it. That's nothing new about WWE.
Maybe.
That's the rule. That's the rule.
Yeah.
So I get that part. But Lexus King?
Yeah, it's his sister, I believe.
His sister and his mother.
Yeah. So here's the deal, right? Let's just say WWE's like, all right, Brian, here's a 6-year contract. Maybe then they let him use Brian Pillman Jr.
I'm excited to see what he does, man. He's got a great family legacy, and I think he deserves a shot. LJ with a 6 months. Thank you, brother. Whether we are WWE, AEW, or fans of both, there's nothing like pro wrestling and its fan base. Gotta love it. Absolutely, man. I love the excitement.
Keith Blanchett says Lexus King sounds like a porn star name. I
Yes,
disagree.
it does. Well, I think it does.
It does.
I disagree. I told JD, I think it's a stripper's name. So ha.
Lexus King?
Either one. Porn, stripper, whatever.
Where you at? You at a male strip club?
Lexus? You think Lexus is a male name?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one.
You think Lexus is a male name?
Could be,
I
I guess.
I know quite a few Lexuses, and none of them
Listen.
are
If he
male.
can get
I
it,
know
if
a
he can get it
Lexus.
over, I mean, all the power to him, man. I mean, it's he's proven me something for sure that we don't know about him. Nate the Spider Hunter with a $5 super chat. I watched both shows. They were both amazing. It's World War III in the chat. I got my popcorn and the tears of the geeks to drink. We all won as fans tonight, JD. Yes, we did. I don't know who's still arguing. Cover NXT, man. No. Like, when do you guys ever see me cover weekly NXT? Come on.
It was NXT WrestleMania tonight.
Yeah. Matt B with a $9.99. Wardlow helping MJF. Oh my
Another
God. Jesus Christ, man. Wardlow helping MJF given their past relationship would be nice. Perhaps Wardlow could ask for a title shot and return Siddle to Cole, but it seems like they'll go with the Acclaimed. Cheers. Thank you, Matt B, for the $9.99, brother. I would like to see MJF and Wardlow again if they could weave that story together. That would be great for Wardlow. But oh my God, man, we got another $500 super chat here. This is fucking crazy. Reinvent
You
Films.
got one up, bro. You got one up, man.
500.
You guys should duke it out on my channel.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy.
I've been gone for a minute. No way. I'm only dropping one bomb. I had this aside specifically for OTS. Cheers, fellas. Have a great night. Osakwe dropped $1,000 in one fucking stream.
Oh shit! Oh my god! It's a fucking you got a ghost account? What the fuck you doing?
No, it's his other account, his film account.
Osakwe, thank you again, brother. My God,
shit.
bro.
Very generous of you. We owe you a couple drinks if we ever see you in person.
Yeah,
That's
as soon as we get out to California for a show, man, whenever that is. Steak dinner. On me, for sure. Thank you, brother. Matt B, thank you, man. Philip Newton with a $4.99. AEW had more matches. NXT was a PR stunt from what I heard. Maybe it was, but like Drew said, man, everybody knows. I don't know why Drew's speaking a foreign language, everybody. TV rights deals, man. They're trying to get that 1 million rating. Hey, look what we did on Tuesday night. Let's talk NXT.
It's a great negotiating point at the table when they're sitting there and they're like, we had some stiff competition. We had the NHL back, the MLB playoffs. We had AEW, the other professional wrestling company, running a show, and look what we did.
Yeah.
The
they got
media
the
rights
resources
people aren't
to do
going to
it.
look at it and be like, oh, well, the only reason why this happened, excuse me, sir, is because John Cena and Paul Heyman and The Undertaker were on. Those guys and girls probably don't know who the hell there is on their show. So let's cut the crap, okay?
Cake with the $2 Super Chat. Switchblade with the hat trick on Adam Page. There you go, man. I don't know why anybody thought Adam Page was winning that match. Matt B with a $1.99 on Wardlow's left wrist tape. It said MJF. I believe you. Miggy Saito, Sir Drew, what was your opinion on Raw yesterday?
I thought Raw was very well done. I thought the main event was well done, and I think I agree with JD. I think WWE Monday Night Raw has become a show that I enjoy watching from top to bottom, and it was abysmal prior to
Yes. Sheed Black with a $1.99. I like all three y'all being on together. Thank you, brother.
Me too.
Appreciate it. Cake with a $2 Super Chat. OC was ignoring the best friends after he won. Man, you guys are noticing shit I'm not noticing. Did you guys notice that?
I mean, listen, if somebody wants to, or all of them come in and we're going to get $1,000 in Super Chats, I'll do this show every night. It was very generous.
What type of coffee am I buying you tomorrow, bro?
You're buying me a fucking machine.
Frank Morano with a 5. Think that title with OC became an albatross for him every week, saying he was just going to rest. Think that's coming back, but I think Swerve is the one. I think so, too. I think that title's right for someone like him, or even a Miro, if they want to push Miro.
I think Swerve's the next guy. Jesse, JD, you agree?
Yeah.
Swerve is definitely on the uprise.
Yeah.
They need to keep his momentum going. JD, I just sent you a text with Dana Brooks' new career path.
Yeah.
Is it
I saw that
OnlyFans?
she's on OnlyFans, right?
Oh man, no, Fan Time.
I don't know what
Same
that is.
thing.
What is that?
No, she's on the same platform as
Same thing.
as what's her name? Mandy Rose. Who's a millionaire now.
Bro, she made like $700,000 in 1 month.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Dana Brooke is going to be wildly successful there, man. There's a lot of geeks out there that like what she does. So
Well, a body like this, damn right she will be.
whatever, man. You know, she's going to make more money than WWE. Good for her. Johnny Jaja with a $5 Super Chat. OC said his titles became his identity. Instead of being a defending champion, OC now does the opposite and flat out refuses to wrestle or too heelish. Listen, man, they got to do something. They can't keep the same gimmick up or, you know, have him win just to drop to Mox. They got to do something to keep my interest. I like that. I think that would be nice. Sarit Mohanty with a super chat here. Fans nowadays watch these shows having legends and high-profile stars. They don't care about the shows having the best pro wrestling and built for new upcoming stars. Hence, old NXT and AEW suffer in viewership. Okay. Why are we worried about viewership?
NXT is really, I mean, this isn't the first time they've brought main roster talent to NXT. This is the first time they've brought Taker, Cena, and Heyman.
Well, not in this abundance.
Right. And
All
this
at once. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, what they're doing here is, like we've said a million times, is they want to show whoever's going to buy that media rights that, hey, look at what we did on a packed Tuesday night. That's it.
Trey Van Garrick with a $5 super chat. With AEW Collision airing on 2 Fridays next month, I wonder how WWE will respond with their SmackDown. LOL. Rock Cena 3, 6-man Hell in a Cell. Are they airing on Fridays?
You think WWE gives a flying shit about what AEW puts out on a Friday night? They're doing 2 3s over there. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't. Why would they respond and bury Collision? Collision's burying itself.
Yeah, I mean, this was a one-time thing to just kind of show, all right, you want to kick it with us? You got Adam Copeland? All right, let's show you what we could do. That was it. They won't do this again.
Sarit
Yeah,
Mohanty.
I'd be pissed if I'm a fan that show up to NXT next week. Like, all right, let's see my big show.
Listen, the reason why I'm so against it is because Triple H never had to resort to these tactics like with NXT Black and Gold. I mean, it's just, it does reek of desperation, but like, I understand. I'm not an idiot. I understand what Drew's saying, and I get why they did it. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. I mean, if you're talking about storyline progression and all that other stuff, I mean, they used Cody for an announcement. They made him the GM. I was fine with that. Taker helping Braun, where does it lead to? Like, if this is just, and Cena as well, this is just a, hey, we just had to get these guys on, then that sucked. But if they do something with it, okay, cool.
Yeah. And
so they have Mark Calloway coming back to help build up Braun. Right?
But well, I mean, that's a little desperate, yes. But I mean, they have the fortunate circumstance where they don't have a pay-per-view every month, so they can get away with this for 1 week. So it is what it is. I promise you're not going to lose sleep over it, guys. Tribal Chief with a $2 super chat. Great show, like always, pal. OTS for life. Thank you, brother. Hope you are well, man. Sarit with a super chat. If Undertaker wrestling in Saudi is true, then he should team up with Melo against Braun and Goldberg. Goldberg would be the perfect one to pass the torch to Braun and retire perfectly. No.
I don't want to see Taker and Goldberg in the ring ever again.
I don't want to see Goldberg in the ring ever again.
I don't want to see Goldberg ever again, period.
He will be AEW bound eventually.
Unless I'm watching an A&E special on muscle cars, and he's going to show us his garage, and fine, it's great. But outside of that, so one show tonight told their locker room, hey, we're going up on Tuesday. It's not our regular night. We're already going to lose most of our viewers because of that. We got the other side, putting up big names at us. Just go out there and give me your best wrestling matches. And that's all I can really ask for. And the other company said to their staff in the locker room, we're going to call Cena and The Undertaker because we don't believe you guys can carry us where we want to be.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. I don't like it. Vinny with a $4.99. AEW bores me, not going to lie. Besides MJF, also Phillies in 4, LMAO, OTS for life still, though. I tweeted it out 3 days ago. Phillies in 4. What the fuck you telling me for?
Yeah,
they're lucky they won the other game. Game 2. Good thing they got fucking bats that come alive whenever they feel like it, and Michael Harris is a great defensive player. Ankle break with a 2. One thing from NXT, Pillman Jr. promo was incredible. Yes, I have to go back and watch it now. Eddie Hazard with a 20. An OTS triple threat. Love to see it. I have a thought experiment for you, gentlemen. Suppose NXT actually wins the ratings tonight. They will. Since it was propped up with legends and main roster guys, would it actually count? OTS for life. Yes, of course it's going to count.
It's their normal night.
Why are we talking about ratings? Did you enjoy the show? That's all that matters.
You buying the rights? Move along.
Yeah. Will Chisholm with a 5. I didn't watch NXT, but I saw Brian Pillman Jr. promo. It was great. Yes, everybody loves this promo. I got to go back and watch
if you don't watch this goddamn promo.
Fucking shit. I'll talk about it tomorrow when I'm live with Drew for TNT. Brian Haynes with a 2. Do you think MJF signed an extension? Yes, I did. Tony Khan would be a fool to leave him as a free agent. In today's market, no.
You're handing him a blank check.
Yeah.
What is it going to take?
Okay. Give the man whatever he wants. Osakui, again, thank you, brother, for the 500 in Super Chat, and then through your other account as well. 1,000 in total. Thank you, brother. Billy Sai Zane with a 10. Great show, 3-man band, LOL, but Mercedes did an interview last week, and she said she may show up in her hometown of Los Angeles for full gear. Yeah,
Whoa. Hometown? I thought it was Boston, you fucking marks.
Boston? Hey, if she wants to come back out as Mercedes Moné and tell us Mercedes Moné is from Los Angeles, okay.
She actually
Banks from Boston.
Now residing.
She actually played coy in the interview too. She's like, "Oh yeah, well, when is that? Where is that?" I'm like, "Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure thing." Thank you, Billy. Wallach Wall with a $9.99. High as hell watching OTS. This is for Vince. Everyone, say it with me. Get him out. Love you guys. OT motherfucking S. Thank you, brother.
Good for you. I wish I can
take it easy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it easy.
Good for you.
Jeremy Lewis with a 10. On my way home from Dynamite, just letting you know I appreciated your shout out, JD. OTS for life. Thank you, brother. What did you mean in the chat, bro? I saw your message in the chat that MJF snubbed you. Did he walk by you in the sun and didn't say anything, man? I got to take it up with him when Jesse meets him again.
Yeah, speaking of which, AEW Dynamite's going to be here on my birthday, and I am formally inviting the both of you to come sit ringside if you'd like.
When is this?
Where's here?
November 29th, Minnesota.
Oh,
You're
boy.
in Minnesota? No way.
Interesting.
You got front row tickets for us?
We'll see. Show up.
I'll talk to the management staff about it.
And then we can maybe do a show. There you go.
Yeah.
Hold on. What's the date?
November 29th. Yeah,
It's a Wednesday, just in
mull
case you
it over, Jesse. A Lucky Geo with a $4.99. Which do each of you prefer? We saw this already. We NXT Black and Gold or AEW with CM Punk? He changed the question.
All right. Well, I'll go. I'll go with AEW Black and Gold. You like that?
Yeah, there you go. I like that a lot. Will Chisholm with a 10. I hate that people think JD is pro AEW or WWE. You're pro wrestling when AEW is good. You're fair when Triple H has no Vince behind him. Shows are great. You're fair. Yes, I'm always fair. But Tony Khan liked my tweet, so I'm on the payroll. So it is what it is.
There you go.
Fucking Stokely.
Yeah. Trevor Spinelli with a $9.99. Thank you, brother. So MJF Acclaimed, Caster Bowens, MJF all trained at Creator Pro, and teachers there are in Long Island, New York, Rahway, New Jersey. Wish they said more of that on TV and got it deeper in the story, to be honest. I mean, MJF has not been shy about any of that over his career, so I don't see the reason to bring it up now. But I'm not for the Acclaimed pairing with MJF as it is.
No.
AWC Legend with a $4.99. W Show JD, thanks for all the hard work, and y'all should do the three of you more often. Was great. OTS for life. Thank you, Legend. Appreciate you, man. When the time comes for it and it calls for it, absolutely. Chris, $4.99. What's up, JD, Jesse, Drew, Paul Heyman, and The Rock's daughter had a segment on the show. AEW Dynamite was awesome tonight.
Agreed.
And then Will Chisholm with a 5. NXT had Paul Heyman talking Ava Rain, teasing her joining the Bloodline. That's The Rock's daughter.
It is.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, wow, man. Breaking news there, man. Holy shit. Wow.
Hey, be nice.
Thank you, Will. I appreciate you, brother. That's all we got. Closing words before we get the hell out of here. That's all we got.
That's like $1,700 in super chats. That's a hell of a. I mean, I don't know the exact number. That's a hell of a night.
Split 3 ways. That should be great, right, JD?
Yeah, man. Yeah, sure, Jesse.
That should be awesome, man.
Yeah, I'll just send me your PayPal information, man. I'll get that right over to you.
Okay.
Any closing words, guys, before we get the hell out of here?
Jesse, go ahead.
Nah, I'm good. Well, join me on Thursday. I'm taking tomorrow off. I get a Wednesday off. That's fantastic, man.
Wow.
And join me on Thursday. We'll get back into Impact. We got stuff going down soon. For those who know, you know. See you on Thursday.
Drew?
I don't watch Impact.
Why would
so
you?
Go enjoy Jesse's stream. I always appreciate the love. I am absolutely shot. I am tired as hell, but I am very thankful for everything that everybody donated in the super chats today, and I also appreciate the near 3,000.
Listen, man. We had near 3,000 because you were here.
You and Jesse always hold it down on the Dynamite reviews. I do watch you guys, so thank you for having me. I would love to do more of these, and professional wrestling again is an escape.
Yeah, and you and I will be live tomorrow at 8:30, right?
That is correct.
There you go.
For TNT.
Drew and I will be live tomorrow for TNT, guys. Tune in then. Until Tuesday night, Titans on Wednesday. I appreciate you guys joining us on this Title Tuesday here. We will see you live tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Join us then, guys. I appreciate you, and thank you for all the support tonight right here on OTS. I'll talk to you guys later.